enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Want to win a trip to the 84th Annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally and a custom Harley-Davidson performance bagger? The Law Tigers are giving away the ultimate trip of a lifetime. Go to stylininSturgis.com to enter. Prizes include VIP stay at Glencoe Camping Resort, custom Harley-Davidson built by Lane Splitter Garage, sound system by Rockford Fosgate, turbo from Trask Performance, parts from J&P Cycles, firearms from Magnum Research, jewelry from Anvil's Cash, and bikes from Soul E-Bikes. Go to stylininSturgis.com to enter today.
I'm Dr. Miller, a dentist and a volunteer for Dental Lifeline Network. DLN asks dentists to volunteer to see just one patient per year who might not have access to proper oral health care. Join me in making a difference.
Go to willyouseeone.org to learn more.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's. Save $40 on select 5-gallon HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams paint, like Weather Shield, Showcase, or ceiling paint. Plus, save $10 on drywall PVA primer and get free same-day delivery to the job site when you order by 2 p.m. Lowe's knows paint. Lowe's knows pros. Offers valid through 6/14. Delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. We do have a level 1 risk for severe storms for this afternoon and evening. We'll likely see the storms continuing through the evening commute through dinner time. A high of 91 degrees, and of course wind damage is a possibility. 69 overnight tonight. Behind this front, our humidity drops for tomorrow. We'll see partly cloudy skies with a high of 88.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 85 points to 38,893. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
Love guarded by Keels, gets a screen, pulls up for 3. Got it! Caleb from straight away! Jones with 1. Jones puts it up at the buzzer. Yes! He ties the game!
Joining with a long rebound, kicks ahead to Smith. 3-ball, right side.
Bang! Shotgun snap. Bryce Young, pressure off the backside. Throw to the end zone. Chark pulls it in with his fingertips.
And another chance, and the save's made by Anderson. And the fans will tell you, did you have a good night?
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox here producing the show, just like he always does. And it's becoming almost just as commonplace, just as expected, just as routine. The Canes don't have a GM.
Still waiting.
We said last week, which was a week after they broke the news that Don Waddell was moving on. We said last week that if they didn't have a GM by this Friday, our alarms would start going off. Our sounders would start going off. Today is Thursday. I'm getting impatient. I know we said Friday, but I really want to smash that alarm button right now.
You took the lid off the switch.
It's the hand is hovering and it's twitching. It's like, I might push it. It was really big news when Don Waddell left. It was really big. If it is a big deal when the spot is vacated, the next person to fill it is big news, right? So everybody that's now downplaying the GM, it's like, I hope you downplayed when Waddell announced he was resigning. Because you can't at the same time go, oh, Waddell's leaving? Why? Oh, he did this. He was so instrumental in building all of this. And then turn around and go, actually, GM doesn't matter. It's cool they don't have one. If it is a big deal when the spot is vacated, then the next person to fill it will be a big deal. There'll be big news. And the time it spends vacant is big news. And over the last 2 weeks, because what are we, 13 days in without a GM? 13 days.
I think we're on day 14.
It was a Friday, so it's that. Do you count
I'm
today
sorry, we are
as
day
tomorrow?
13. We are day
It's
13. That's right.
You know how it is. Like, is it 3 days from now or 2 days from now? Do you count today? It has slowly, over the last 13 or 14 days, slowly become less and less and less of a big deal as we have gotten bored with it. And here's the thing. Can you technically operate without a permanent GM? Yes. If your interim GM is doing his job, and Eric Tulsky, who was the assistant GM, was named the interim GM, if he is truly fulfilling all GM-ly duties, then you can go a while without a permanent GM. But then my question is simple. Why? Why wait that long? Why? The offseason, in a lot of ways, is the GM season. The draft is not that far away. And when I say not, it's close.
It's the end of this month.
Actually, we're in June now, so you're right.
Yeah.
Like, it is close, and there are things that need to be done prior to the draft. You can't show up 2 days before the draft and just have everyone go, all right, we'll fill you in. Like, you need to form your own opinions. You need to gauge the room. You need to hear the arguments. What is taking so long to find a GM? And what do you think is going to change? Right? You make a choice, you make an offer. If they turn it down, you go to your next choice, you make an offer. If they turn it down, you make a next choice. I guess you could be gauging whether you want to up your offer, but I doubt that's going to happen considering what we know about this franchise, what we know about this ownership. We are looking at 2 weeks of not having a general manager, or more specifically, not having a permanent general manager, and instead having an interim general manager. In a sport where it does matter who your GM is. It does. Even if it's just as the mouthpiece of the organization, right? The megaphone of the organization. Because, right, everything that we've heard, everything that we are hearing about the way the Canes want to operate is the GM is not a traditional, like, end-all, be-all, judge and jury GM, where they hear all of the arguments from the assistant GMs and the scouts and the coaches and maybe the ownership, and then the GM gets to make a decision. That's not what they're doing here, right? It's we've been kind of calling it like King Arthur's Knights of the Round Table, right? It's everybody's equal and every voice matters. Well, guess what? At those press conferences where you're explaining the decisions, you didn't send up 12 guys. You didn't send up 4 people. You sent up Don Waddell. That's part of what needs to be fixed. The person that is going to, for better or worse, wear it for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are the figurehead, even if behind the scenes you're not as powerful as other GMs are. You are the figurehead for the organization, and there is value in having that.
And Dom was the one that would initiate conversations with other teams, and even though it might have been his final decision, still, he was one that was the face. Other GMs knew to call him first. He was one that spoke to the media. Like you said, he was the face of the front office.
And it's a bit of a gatekeeper, right? Because Don Waddell was extremely well connected in hockey. We've talked about it. He's goes back decades and decades and has interacted with so many of the other front office executives. Sure, he may not have had final decision-making power, right? Big decision. Are you going to trade for someone at the trade deadline? He might not have the final, like, double stamp to triple stamp, yes, make the deal. Go get so-and-so. But how many casual conversations do you think he had where he just never passed that info along? The NHL Combine, right, this week. How many times do you think someone came up to him and said, so, what are you thinking about moving your first-round pick? And he just went, I don't think we're going to. Or even he said, I don't know, what are you offering? And, like, there's nothing that guarantees he's going to bring all of, like, everything he hears back to the Knights of the Round Table. He may have been a little bit of a gatekeeper in that respect. We'll never know, and he's never going to tell us. But there is a value in having a GM. And I'm cool with being patient. We're past patient. 2 weeks, too long. Like I said, tomorrow is when the panic button gets sounded or the alarm gets sounded if we're going to do that. So today is almost like, I feel like this is when I have a 3-year-old toddler at home. This is when you're counting to 3. You're like, come on. Sit down, eat your food. Sit down. 1, 2, right? It's like that's where we're at right now with the Canes. Well, come on. All right, it's cool. Ha, ha, ha. No, seriously, sit down, hire a GM. Come on. Sit down, hire a GM. 1, 2, 2.5. Don't make me get to 3.
2 3/4.
I'm gonna have to take away your Hot Wheels. I'm gonna take away the red car. Like that's where we're at with the Canes right now. We're not in like you're actually in trouble mode, but we know the time when it expires that you'll be in trouble mode.
You think they're just waiting until after the combine?
Why would you?
Just let the front office do all their stuff first, then we'll announce it after the combine press conference next week, on Monday.
Maybe, and I will say this organization does seem like let's wait. I think the Rod Brindamore deal was agreed upon mostly months, if not weeks, if not months in advance.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, wait till the offseason. I don't know why you would, but they did. So, I don't see why you would wait. Why wouldn't you want your new GM to be walking around the combine and having those conversations and making sure everybody knows? We talked yesterday about the blueprint, the Panthers, meaning Carolina Panthers, produced behind-the-scenes documentary of their offseason. The Senior Bowl was going on when they hired Dan Morgan and Dave Canales, and they went right there, right? They didn't even – family was still in Tampa. Like, they went straight there talking at the Senior Bowl. They were mic'd up talking to other coaches about, Thursday, we got to be back in Carolina for our introductory press conference. Meanwhile, they were there talking to players for the Panthers. They were there watching practice for the Panthers. I don't know why you wouldn't want your GM. You hire him today at, what time is it, 3:10? I'd try to get him at the combine by 4:30. How far away are you? Can you drive? Are you already there? Get him there. Get him knocking out all the intros he needs to knock out. Because other teams have to know this is the guy we call, which is what it all comes down to. And then the next thing you want him to do is to decide, are you going to re-sign Guentzel? Are you going to trade Necas? Or what are you doing in goal? Then there's a lot of things to get to. The to-do list is not a short one for whoever they hire. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll keep you updated on any news breaking when it comes to a GM or a trade or a free agency signing. We'll keep you all updated. In the meantime, here's Dennis.
Hey, Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Law Tigers. Do you want to win a trip to the 84th Annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally and a custom Harley-Davidson performance bagger? Well, the Law Tigers are giving away the ultimate trip of a lifetime. But here's the thing. You got to enter in now. The contest ends this week. Your time to enter is now. Go to stylinsturgis.com to enter. Again, stylinsturgis.com to enter. Again, the prize includes a VIP stay at Glencoe Camping Resort, a custom Harley-Davidson built by Lane Splitter Garage, a sound system by Rockford Fosgate, turbo from Trask Performance, parts from JP Cycles, and so much more. But again, you're winning a custom Harley-Davidson and a trip to the 84th Annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. It's a pretty awesome prize. You got to go to stylinsturgis.com to enter today. Again, that's put together by friends over at Law Tigers. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS if you're injured in a motorcycle accident before you call your insurance company. Insurance company just wants to pay you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They understand what your bike and gear are worth. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Our 99 questions about college football series continues with a question inspired by the Dan Hurley news. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
I think it's the most elite hot dog you can get is a Chicago dog. It's delicious. Do not knock it until you've tried it.
I understand it's a delicacy. It's unique to Chicago, but I'm over that. I don't necessarily need to have that. I think it's too much on a hot dog. A hot dog, maybe you want to put some sauteed onions, maybe a little bit of relish, but I think that's about all that belongs on the hot dog.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Howard, did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Helping kids find their place, stay safe, and learn is the most fulfilling job imaginable. Be part of that journey with the Wake County Public School System. Now hiring bus drivers, mechanics, and instructional assistants, and offering competitive salaries, attractive benefits including retirement, and opportunities to grow. Whether you want a flexible job driving buses, maintaining and repairing them, or a rewarding position helping teachers, you'll love working for the largest school district in North Carolina. Apply now at careers.wcpss.net and discover a place where anything is possible.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
You put sunscreen on when you go out in the sun. Did you know that the sun could hurt your car, too? It's true. Keep cool this summer and protect the interior from fading and cracking with a custom window tint from SoundStation and Security. The sun's harmful UV rays can also hurt your paint on the exterior. That's why SoundStation and Security offers custom ceramic coating. Think of it as a little sunscreen with SoundStation and Security. 2 locations in downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Online at myhotsound.com.
Paid for by government.com. Have you heard? A recent stash of 1902 Morgan silver dollar coins has been found. These gorgeous 1902 silver dollar coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 300 of these Morgan silver dollars are available. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone interested in silver coins. Just call government at 1-800-806-1641, and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1902 Morgan silver dollar featuring the iconic old mint mark of the New Orleans Mint, but with limited quantity. You must call now. These 1902 silver coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 122 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-806-1641. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-806-1641 now to secure your 1902 Morgan silver dollars before they sell out. That's 1-800-806-1641.
Pack coming on another two-man blitz. They pick it up. Wells is sacked. They picked it up, but only momentarily as Peyton Wilson got there.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. 99 questions about the college football season. We started it 99 days before the college football season got started. One question leading up to college football season every single show, which sometimes they're just questions, right? We have the same questions every season. Who's a breakout performer? Which team's going to win, right? The conference, right? Those questions are a little bit more down the middle. Sometimes they're inspired by more current events. Today, and actually, can I quickly just say something to ESPN as like an entity?
Okay.
I'm a big fan of ESPN. I read the articles. I mean, like many of us, it's the station that's on my television the most. There's one massive pet peeve I have with ESPN.
Oh, I have a few, but go on.
They don't know what breaking news is.
No, they don't.
I get like notifications to my phone, breaking news, and it's like breaking. I'm thinking a trade. I'm thinking an injury. I'm thinking something like breaking news.
Someone got fired.
Somebody got fired, retired, something. Breaking, and then it'll say like Matt Bowen puts out a new top 10 best running backs in college, and I'm just like, that's not breaking news. So then today, I sit down here. We have the television's on in the studio, and we have it on, what is that, ESPN2, and a graphic comes across, breaking news. I'm like, ooh, breaking news. I wonder if this is it. Dan Hurley's face pops up on my screen. I'm like, is it official? Did he take the job? Woj reports, the little caption pops up. Woj reports Lakers are targeting Dan Hurley from UConn. That's exactly what he said on the morning shows.
Yeah.
It is 3:19. It is no longer breaking. It is just news.
It's just developing story.
It's just talking about the same thing that was talked about this morning, hopefully with different angles and creative viewpoints, but it's not breaking news. Breaking news is becoming overdone, and you're going to be the boy that cried wolf.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go breaking news, and I'm going to go, oh, great, Mel Kiper put out a mock draft, and I'm going to turn away before the actual breaking news happens when there is real, actual breaking news. There's my rant on breaking news. But our 99 questions about college football for today is inspired by Dan Hurley potentially taking the Lakers job after winning back-to-back national championships at UConn. The question is, which football coach in the triangle is most likely to leave after the season? If things go well for them, who's most likely to bounce in the triangle? A la pull a Dan Hurley. Let's first, actually, you know what? We've fallen into this rhythm. Which school should we talk about first?
Let's go. We haven't done NC State first in a minute, so I'll do NC State.
NC State. Dave Doran ain't leaving.
No. That's simple as that.
And if he has lofty success, I think he'll be excited because it'll give him a bunch more job security at NC State. I genuinely think he wants to retire as the head coach of the NC State Wolfpack. Tony Gibson, his defensive coordinator, I do think might be a little bit more of a threat to leave, although I'm sure he's had options. Maybe he's just being picky. And if the right head coaching job opens up and the defense plays well again this year, I could see Tony Gibson being a hot commodity in the coaching market. So that's how NC State breaks down in this conversation. Where do we go next, Dennis?
Let's go with UNC, Mac Brown.
Yeah, Mac Brown's always going to be a retirement risk. He's 72 years old. He's been at the coaching grind. I think I read today 46 years.
Yeah.
As in college coaching of some kind. That's going, and by the way, it's not like he's, he makes a nice living, and he has at multiple stops along his career. He's coaching for the love of the game at this point, which means at any point in time, if that love wanes or if he thinks family time is more where he wants to spend his time, Mac Brown could bounce. So it's a little different than the Dan Hurley, right? It's not like, oh, the Raiders came calling. It's more, oh, I'm done. Which he has the right to do.
100%. I know last year at the end of the season, some people were speculating if he was going to retire, and he shot that down fast. Still feeling like he can still keep going, and it definitely still can. I also wonder, with the changing landscape of college sports, I wonder if he's like, do I want to be involved in that? Like, we've seen Roy Williams step away. We've seen Coach K step away. It's like, you know what? Now's the time to move. Saban step away for stating those reasons, like the changing landscape of college sports and just college athletics in general. I wonder if someone like Mac or, heck, a lot of coaches out there, I don't want to deal with this. I'm going to step away.
So what you're saying is
I wouldn't blame anyone for that.
The 2025 season is when players can start getting paid by the school.
If the settlement is agreed upon by the judge that the ACC and all the power conferences and NCAA agreed upon, yes.
So you think there might be a little possibility of him saying, well, right up until the players can get paid, I will coach and then I will bounce.
It's possible.
And then we have Duke remaining. Manny Diaz. I have to be honest with Duke fans about this one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Manny Diaz is in Durham because he loves Durham. I don't think Manny Diaz is in Durham because he loves Duke. I think he might say that. I think he might sell that in press conferences and to recruits. I think he's there because he wants another shot at being a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't work in Miami. He's going to try to make it work at Duke. And if it does, don't be surprised if, I mean, we're calling this a Hurley. We could call this an Elko. Not this year, by the way. Even like a 9 or 10 win season, I don't think gets him a better head coaching offer than Duke. 2 years of 9 or 10 wins? I think that's where you have to start worrying about Manny Diaz jumping if he has that type of success. Now, if he wins 4 games this year, probably 3 years into the future is when you have to start worrying. Like there's a level of success that he does have to achieve, but I don't think he's, every once in a while you do have a coach that truly loves the area, falls in love with it. Sometimes they're an alum, and you do get that, like, no matter how successful he is, he's going to stick around. I don't get that vibe from Manny Diaz. Not saying he can't be a great coach, not saying he can't help Duke a lot, not saying he can't win under him. Just to say, when it comes to who's most likely to stay, I don't think he's there. So if I had to rank most likely after this year to leave, Mac Brown most likely. Maybe Tony Gibson as a defensive coordinator, a little cop-out from NC State.
Possibly.
Next. And then Manny Diaz the next. But with the caveat that Manny Diaz I don't think is around for the super-duper long haul. I think it's still an ASAP get-out-of-there move. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I want to tell you about Gordon Miller and Miller Lending. For most of us, the biggest kind of investment we have where most of our net worth is located is in our house, right? As soon as you're a homeowner, that becomes such a big part of your future, and it costs some money. Well, guess what? When you talk with Miller Lending and Gordon Miller, you get to keep a little bit more of the jingle jangle, a little bit more of the coinage in your pockets because you don't have to pay for closing costs and fees. That's a beautiful thing, right? Because if you're like me, the first time I bought a house, it's like, wait a second, I have to agree to pay them all this money, and then I still need to come up, and the bank's going to help me with that with a loan, or the mortgage is going to help me with that with a loan. Then I got to find all this actual cash right now for closing costs and fees. Whew, really, they get you coming and going, huh? Well, Miller Lending makes sure that they don't get you coming and going. It's just one or the other, right? Because there's no costs, no closing costs or fees. 0 means 0. If that sounds like something you might want to look at, go ahead and give them a call. 919-447-3377. And the beauty is then when rates come down, you can refinance again with no costs or fees, so you don't have to worry as much about what the rates are when you're first signing up. MillerLending.com is another way you can check them out. That's MillerLending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Dan Hurley targeted by the Lakers. How does that affect the teams right here in the Triangle? College basketball. Stick around.
Score free gifts for the greatest dad this Father's Day at Lowe's. Get a free Select Cobalt tool with your purchase of a 24-volt max battery 2-pack. And get a free Select Craftsman string trimmer or leaf blower with purchase of a Select V20 push mower up to a $149 value. Lowe's knows dads. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 6/12. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hey, John. Why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bo Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bo sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, "It's Bo time." So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bo sauce. It's Bo time.
There's no time like Bo time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bo sauce is back. That's right, Bo sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bo sauce? Then it's Bo time.
Hey, it's Victoria with 99.9 The Fan for Men's Health Month, and I'm here with Dr. Chad Greer from Wake Orthopedics, and today we are talking regenerative orthopedics. So, what is PRP therapy and how does it work?
So PRP therapy is isolating components of your blood. So it's the platelets and the growth factors that are designed to heal your own body. So when you have an injury, those factors will go to a part of your body and stimulate a healing process. And so PRP is designed to concentrate those factors from your own blood, so a blood draw, and we re-inject that into an area, a tendinopathy or an arthritic part that needs healing. And so that is to provide your own body's healing properties in a concentrated form in a way to stimulate healing for your own body.
Wow, well, that's very fascinating. Thank you so much for that information for our Men's Health Month. And if you would like to schedule an appointment with Dr. Chad Greer or get more information, visit wakemed.org.
Thinking of popping the question? Diamonds Direct has an offer you can't miss. This month only, buy a natural diamond engagement ring of 1 carat plus and receive a free natural 1 carat diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. Imagine giving her the ring of her dreams and her wedding gift all at once. No one provides education, selection, and value like Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet from your friends at Diamonds Direct won't last long. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal in the final seconds of overtime or a shot on goal in the first period. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Hey y'all, happy summer from Oak City Customs. We have a lot of cool things happening, including new offerings on custom sun sails, pergolas, outdoor tables and furnishings, raised garden beds, and so much more. All fully customizable and available in any size. We also are now hosting official shop tours for you to experience this unique fabrication process in person. Come visit us or check us out further at oakcitycustoms.com. We look forward to meeting you.
Tedeschi Trucks Band, Deuces Wild Tour 2024. 2 nights, November 7th and 8th. Raleigh Memorial Auditorium and Martin Marietta Center for the Performing Arts. Tedeschi Trucks Band, one of the best live acts on the road today. Tickets on sale Friday at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Tedeschi Trucks Band, Deuces Wild Tour 2024. Presented by Live Nation.
Trane Heating and Cooling Systems are engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Pulls back for the jumper off the rim, and the rebound Lance Thomas out fought the Carolina Trees. Out to Shire. 3, got it.
We're pretty much what I would consider the center of the college basketball universe, right here in the Triangle.
We are the capital.
The capital, the center, the nucleus. But I do have to say a lot of the gravitational pull has been going to UConn the last 2 years. I mean, they won back-to-back national championships.
I mean, they're pretty good.
I'm not saying they've overtaken anything. I'm just saying sometimes you have to look at somebody else and say, hey, they're doing a good job too.
Hat tip.
Yeah, a little bit of like a little fist bump through the hallway. I see you. Dan Hurley, though, that news, that nucleus that they were trying to build up in Storrs, Connecticut, Little upended this morning when Adrian Wojnarowski decides to break the news that Dan Hurley, the two-time defending national champion coach for the UConn Huskies, is being targeted by the Los Angeles Lakers for their job opening, and they are prepared to break the bank for him. All of a sudden, UConn's, what's going on here? Dan Hurley reportedly even had a meeting to say, with his team, to say, yeah, this is legitimate talks. But we also have practice at noon, business as usual. So it's a little bit of talking out of both sides of your mouth, right? It's not a meeting to say, I'm not taking it, I'm here, I'm committed. It's a meeting to say, yeah, I'm thinking about it, but I'm committed, which is a little difficult. It's also funny, I want to give you this. Dan Hurley was on with Dan Patrick, the Dan Patrick Show, 7 weeks ago. And the question was asked, what would make him leave UConn? And when this news breaks, you always kind of want to go back and find these moments. So here's that audio for you.
Maybe just burnout at this point for me, just, pushing too hard and probably, just breaking down at some point, just because you just can't keep up the intensity and the energy and the output. And then maybe down the road, if I could grow up a little bit, mature a little bit with the emotions, maybe the NBA, down the road. So
why do you want to do that to yourself? Go to the NBA?
Well, I think college has become like the G League.
Good point.
Yeah, in a way. I mean, it's that's obviously tongue in cheek, but a lot of the college game has changed. You win a national championship, and obviously we're going to do things, go to the White House, do these. We had the parade, you do these things, but you're basically right into free agency frenzy. So it's I'm more worried about burnout than I am going to the NBA.
Well, a couple months later, I guess he's grown up with the emotions, and now maybe he thinks he's ready to go coach in the NBA. He's way down the road. When I grow up, maybe I'll consider the NBA when I get these emotions in check. A month and a half later, so I think I'm ready. I don't know about that one, but here's the thing. Can we put our tinfoil hats on for a second?
Yes.
Because we're always looking. Nobody gets more excited for a good conspiracy theory than Dennis. We're looking at how it impacts the schools here in the Triangle, right? Well, this situation, the Dan Hurley situation, mimics very closely to 2004 with Coach K, when the Lakers, with a star like the LeBron role would be played by Kobe back then, and a team that was looking to get back to their championship ways, looked to what was at the time the most successful college coach, Coach K, and tried to lure him to the Lakers. It obviously didn't work. Coach K turned him down, but it didn't seem like anyone left with hard feelings. The Lakers and Coach K stayed in touch, right? I'm going to stay in college, but let's be friends. And it actually worked. So much so that Coach K has been consulting for the Lakers on their hire of a coach this offseason, right? Yeah, sure, give me a call. I'll tell you what I think about each candidate. I'll tell you what I think you should be asking the candidates. It's consultant, right? Nobody knows what they do. It's why they get to charge so much. It would be good for Duke if Dan Hurley gets the heck out of college basketball.
It would.
Which would indirectly, and I know this wouldn't be Coach K's motivation, it'd be good for UNC if Dan Hurley gets the heck out of college basketball. It's good for pretty much everyone other than UConn if Dan Hurley gets the heck out of college basketball, because he's kind of the one that has found the sweet spot of mixing veteran transfers in the portal and playing that game aggressively, and mixing in the guys that he recruited to UConn and finding the chemistry necessary to win championships. He's done it now 2 consecutive years with very different rosters, and gearing up again this year to have a very good team with a handful of transfers, handful of guys that were around, stepping into bigger roles. He's the guy that's found the equation. So my tinfoil hat, my conspiracy theory is Coach K is looking at the Lakers and going, Oh, yeah, for sure. You want Dan Hurley, whatever the cost. Turn the Hollywood sign into the Hurleywood sign. Do whatever you got to do. And in the back of his head, he's going, get him the heck away from college basketball so Duke can get back to winning championships. Feel for my guy Shire is what Coach K is thinking in my tinfoil hat theory. The other question about this whole thing is, would it work? Because that's one of the great what-ifs. What if Coach K went to the Lakers in 2004? Would it have worked? Would Coach K and Kobe have been able to put together a run? Right, because obviously eventually Phil Jackson came back and they did win more championships there. Would Coach K have been able to accelerate that process? Would there have been another three-peat? Would there have been more championships for LA? That's a great what-if. Could the college shtick work in the NBA? And actually, I think with Coach K, that's less of a question than with Hurley. Because Coach K, especially earlier in his career, yes, he was fiery on the sideline. He'd throw a jacket. He'd get a tech. Dan Hurley's like a cartoon at times.
Yeah.
The glasses, right? The thick-rimmed glasses, the only things that are stopping his eyes from going like booga when he gets mad at the officials. I don't know if Dan Hurley would work in the NBA. I remember watching somebody like Billy Donovan at Florida and thinking like, he kind of looks like an NBA coach, right? He's already got like the Pat Riley slicked back hair. He's got the demeanor. He's very into like crossed arms on the sideline. Brad Stevens, same thing, right? Brad Stevens at Butler, you're watching it going like, he looks like he's 12, but everything else looks like an NBA coach. Mm-hmm. He's got a baby face, but the demeanor, the suit on the sideline, like all of it, it looks like an NBA coach. Dan Hurley, I'm watching, I'm going like, that is a college basketball coach.
Yeah, for sure.
He is in a defensive stance on the sideline for no reason other than tapping his knees and saying, get low to the guys on defense. His hands are up just to show everybody how to do it.
You're not going to be able to do that for 82 games in the NBA.
In the NCAA championship, he actually pushed his point guard to start a play. Point guard was dribbling near the sideline. He reached out and pushed him like, go, initiate the action. Can you imagine pushing like Russell Westbrook, who's sitting there waiting for his moment to pounce, and you're like, no, there's 9 seconds on the shot clock, go. Russell Westbrook would look at you with the disgust of 1,000 suns and say, I'm worth $300 million, you don't touch me. Hurley is a college coach. Could he make the changes necessary? And that's not an easy question to answer. Could he make the changes necessary? Changes that even he, in that clip we played, acknowledged 7 weeks ago he'd have to make with the emotions. And it plays into what Dennis said also. 82 games, maybe 100 plus if you're going through long playoff series. I don't know if you can do that every single night.
You can't.
And by the way, there's no Southern Connecticut's early in the season.
No.
I mean, there are some bad teams, don't get me wrong. The Pistons exist. They're not, Southern Connecticut or whatever, the Maine or whoever Connecticut's playing to warm up. I don't know. Funny thing, though, David Teal, shout out, legendary reporter covering the ACC, tweeted this out. The last reigning national basketball champion to have its coach depart for another job? Kansas in 1988 when Larry Brown exited to the Spurs. And who did Kansas hire? Roy Williams. So you could argue without a coach doing exactly what Dan Hurley might be doing, we wouldn't have Roy Williams, the UNC basketball legend. Who would have thunk it? The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's jump to some Canes news. And actually, today's a really fun day for Canes news. We have the storm tracker, which is every day at 4:33, and we've reserved that time to talk about Canes rumors.
So 1 hour from now.
Almost exactly. And maybe a little less, 50 minutes from now.
Yeah, close enough.
Today, you start talking about all the different rumors, all the different reports, and you're like, not going to fit into the storm tracker. We're going to need to spread our legs with this one a little bit. So let's talk about one of the rumors, one of the reports, which is that Jake Guentzel, who was the big darling signing or trade at the trade deadline for the Canes. He was the all-in move for the Canes that said, this is our year. And then obviously it didn't end up being their year. Jake Guentzel, we learned earlier this week, it's expected that he is going to test the free agency waters. And we learned more about his situation from Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet in this clip right here.
I look at it this way. Jake Guentzel he's a Midwest guy.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago is a Midwest location. Also, they do need to get players to play with Bedard. Same reasons you just explained there. And I don't know. It just it doesn't seem insane to me. And I don't know if Chicago is really looking to, quote unquote, accelerate the process as much as they realize they have to move things forward. And they have to begin surrounding with Bedard with some players that will allow him to showcase even more.
Interesting. So you're telling me Chicago doesn't have enough going for him with Connor Bedard. In addition to that, they're going to try to come over here and take our Jake Guentzel.
Yeah. It's our Jake Guentzel.
He's only been ours for what, like 2.5 months? But he's ours.
He's still ours.
Until July, he is. The only ones that have the right to negotiate with them. Do you know what's the worst part about this report?
What's that?
I get it.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst part. I love when rumors come in like, Jake Guentzel's going to leave in free agency. And I'm, where's he going to go? And they're like, Columbus. I'm like,
That ain't happening.
I don't even have to get worked up about this one. But when you say Chicago, I go, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Connor Bedard and Jake Guentzel for the next 7 years.
Gosh.
That does sound like a really fun top line. A player that can show Connor Bedard certain things that he needs to learn early in his career, who can then age gracefully. Jake Guentzel can, because Connor Bedard will be showing him how to do things in 5 years from now. Like it's very frustrating, but everything that we say about like how awesome would it be to have him next to Aho for the next X amount of years, or to have him playing with Jarvis or Svetch, it's just as true for Bedard. It makes sense.
It does.
And I don't need to go down the part that Elliot Friedman started with, which is like, he's a Midwest guy, it's a Midwest team. But when you're in season, you could be on the moon, right? You are like, you're home, you're at the rink. You're home, you're at the rink. You're in the training room, you're home, you're at the rink. I don't think it's like, I'm so happy I get to see my niece and nephew today. It's a game day. You're not seeing your niece and nephew anyway. And based on the contract he's coming off of and the contract he's about to sign, you get 2 off days. You want to fly home? Go nuts. Fly home from anywhere. You got the cash. I think at this point in Jake Guentzel's career, the teams that we should be worried about him choosing over the Canes, and the Canes can offer an extra year. So for him to leave, he's going to have to get a better offer on a 7-year deal, assuming the Canes are able to offer that extra year and will for that 8-year deal. The teams that I think we should be worried about Jake Guentzel choosing over Carolina are not the ones that are closer to home, are not the ones that have a great atmosphere or a traditional hockey town or anything like that. I think they're the ones that are the hockey fits. I think Jake Guentzel's at the point in his career, he's already got a cup. He's already got some pretty insane records.
He's already proven.
Now it's about piling on that legacy for him. And I think one of the best options for him to do that is here in Carolina.
100%.
I think as far as building up statistically, playing with a line that will keep defenses honest and not make you too overly the target, making the postseason and allowing him to continue building on the playoff Guentzel narrative. I think all of that is right here in Carolina. But at the same time, if you think Bedard is that dude, which a lot of people are, a lot of people think that, it's a hockey fit for him to hitch himself to that wagon a little bit for exactly what I said earlier. You sign a 7-year deal, and what is Guentzel, 29, 30?
Yeah, 29 going on 30.
It's probably a lot easier when you're 34, 35, 36, 37 if you have maybe at the time, if projections are true, a top 1, 2, 3 player in the league with you to continue to produce at a high level. And that's where that legacy keeps getting piled on. And it's not like Guentzel doesn't have an acute awareness of playing with someone that has a higher Q score than him, a higher fame score than him. Right? I don't know if you've heard of Sydney. Right? He knows how to be the guy that walks in and goes, "Oh, you want my autograph? Oh no, you're asking where Sid is. I think he's on the bus, the next bus." Like if that's what happens with Bedard, he's been there, he's done it. So I hate that everything I just said makes sense. I hate that because I want Guentzel back. We did our priority rankings of who the Canes need to take care of in the offseason as far as their free agents. Both of us gave the highest score possible to Jake Guentzel.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 5, you said 5, I said 7.
True. For an average of a 6.
Yes.
A 6 out of 5 on average. That's how much we think Jake Guentzel is important to the future of the Canes.
So the Athletic did a report or projected what Jake Guentzel can get on the open market on a 7-year deal. It'll be about $9.5 million per year on 7 years. From Carolina, hey, what's 9.5 times 8, buddy? Let's go. Let's tack on another year at 9.5. Well, you know what? Make it 9.4, but again, we'll give you the 8. We'll give you that extra year.
That does acquiesce to the one rule I have, which is it would feel weird if you made more than Aho per year.
But that'd be less than
That's
Aho.
what I'm saying. It acquiesces to the one rule I have. Is it an arbitrary rule that probably I shouldn't have as a GM?
Don't worry about
100%. But it just feels right. So if the Canes have the opportunity to get Jake Guentzel for less than 9.5 or less per year, and they choose not to, you're gonna have one pretty darn disappointed radio host right here.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if it's because Guentzel was going, I didn't know who to call. They don't have a GM.
Yeah.
My agent was saying it's 9.5. That's the number, and he just kept getting our voicemail is full. Please wait for a callback.
Dundon's probably talking to his agent directly. Let's be real.
Assume so.
Let's be honest.
I assume so. I assume so. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you want to go to Sunday at the U.S. Open.
Yes.
It's coming to Pinehurst. A week from today it starts. A week from today.
It is a week from today.
The tournament actually starts. But we have a pair of tickets to Sunday. Because who wants to? Thursday? You can't win the tournament on Thursday. You can lose it on Thursday. Mm-hmm. You can't win the tournament on Thursday. You can win it on Sunday. And that's when we have a pair of tickets for you to go watch the tournament at Pinehurst. A pair of tickets to Sunday at the U.S. Open. To register to win, you have to text in GOLF, GOLF, to our text line, 919-860-5326. Right now, you can text in GOLF. There will be a link that fires back to you. Do whatever the link says. 919-860-5326 to register to win a pair of tickets to see the U.S. Open on Sunday at Pinehurst. Is anyone else getting excited? I mean, a major championship is going to be like right down the street a week from today.
We'll be there on Wednesday.
Be there a week from yesterday.
Yeah.
For the practice rounds. See the best players in the world honing their craft for one of the biggest tests of their season.
By the way, it's a text to win for everyone trying to call in right now. Text
GOLF, GOLF to 919-860-5326.
Happens every time.
Well, I love the idea of, because we've obviously given the word golf. Yeah. You have to text in golf. If they call in, or they just answering going like golf, GOLF, qualify me. It's a text to win. Text. I said golf. All right, let's jump into this real quickly. We're going to sprinkle the conversation about the NBA Finals starting tonight in throughout the show.
Which you can listen to on The Fan, by the way.
You can hear it right here, 99.9 The Fan. Mavs at Celtics start things off. Here's an angle on it. And obviously they're going to focus on some of the Duke guys and the bigger names. Kristaps Porzingis expected to play. I thought it was funny. They asked him if he's running around pain-free now. And he hit it's like he froze. He did like 10 seconds of nothing. Then he smiled. Then his head tilted. Then he said, yes. And I went like, I know you said yes. Everything nonverbal about that answer tells me no. But you didn't sell it well enough. So Kristaps Porzingis is playing, big guy for the Celtics. You know who puts squarely in the importance meter? Derek Lively. Because Kristaps Porzingis is one of those unicorns, right? He's 7'2", 7'3". He can shoot. He can move. He can screen. He can block shots. Derek Lively is the 7-footer for the Mavs in the rotation that will likely have to test some of his lateral quickness and everything else and strength against Kristaps Porzingis. If Porzingis, who had been hurt and been held out for a while, wasn't playing, I'm not sure Derek Lively is as important as he has been in previous series. But with Kristaps Porzingis out there, Derek Lively becomes very, very important. Rookie, by the way, out of Duke.
Lively's going to have to step out to the three-point line and guard him because Porzingis can shoot from the outside.
And as with everybody, when you have the stretch, then all of a sudden you're going to be putting a bunch of screens and switches, and you're going to be caught on the perimeter on guys you don't want to be caught on the perimeter on, and you got to find a way. So give this is one of those games where, like, Derek Lively, it's like coach is checking up with you all day. Like, you drinking enough water? You drinking enough water? You hydrated? You need some Pedialyte? You need some Gatorade? You drinking enough water? Because you just know it's going to be a marathon for him out there. He's going to get his steps in. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly for DraftKings Sportsbook. Speaking of the NBA playoffs, obviously with the finals, we're talking about it. They're heating up. So is the action on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. With the teams knocking on the door of the finals tonight, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered every step of the way. With same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out on the NBA postseason as it winds down. You could look to Derek Lively maybe as a little prop bet, right? He's going to be active. I think he's going to have to play a lot. Maybe you look at something like over in blocks if you're looking at player props, or over in rebounds if you're looking at player props for Derek Lively. If you're not into the whole player props thing, that's fine, right? If you're new to the whole sports betting thing, that's fine. It's super easy to get started. You can try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the app, pick the team, place your bet. That's simple. And here's something else to sweeten the deal for new customers. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's TIMD to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. That code, TIMD, TIMD, no spaces. Make sure you don't throw a space bar in there. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. We're going to take a break. When we come back, football at 4. Here's the warning. It's best shape of your life season. Everything is glowing in the offseason in the NFL. Stick around.
It's time for our countdown to the U.S. Open, teed up by Talk It Out NC. Pebble Beach provides so many memories for professional golf in the U.S. Open. In 1972, Tom Watson chipped in for birdie on the 17th hole, setting off his famous running celebration. Watson needed the chip in to take a one-shot lead over Jack Nicklaus heading into the final hole. Watson used it as a boost into 18, which he also birdied for a two-stroke win. His first U.S. Open victory and 6th major. There's your countdown to the U.S. Open, teed up by Talk It Out NC.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers. The best wings on the planet and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Hey, it's Laura with the Good Feet store. To my fellow mothers, we can do just about anything. But sometimes, don't our bodies disagree? As a working mom of 3, those long days bouncing between the office and the kids would be even more challenging if I was suffering with foot, knee, or back pain. Almost all of my activities involve being on my feet. That's where my Good Feet arch supports come in. From playing hide and seek to walking around the office, life is go, go, go. Moms, we can't afford to let lower body pain slow us down. At the Good Feet store, we offer a 3-step system of arch supports that are personalized to your feet and your lifestyle. They're designed to work in almost any shoe, whether you're dressing for a day in the office or a walk around the neighborhood. Our arch support specialists will walk you through the benefits of each support and how they work together to reduce or even eliminate your foot, knee, and back pain. If you're looking for reliable support for your busy mom lifestyle, visit your local Good Feet store. Stop in for a free fitting and test walk or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com.
Get bonus days to save during Window Nation's semi-annual sale now through June 30th. Get 50% off all windows along with no interest for 5 years, plus a bonus 10% savings when you schedule an estimate at 866-90NATION or windownation.com.
This Father's Day, give Dad the gift that keeps on giving with the Butcher's Market Steak of the Month Club. Dad will enjoy a fresh, hand-cut steak every month for 6 months, like a prime New York strip steak, a Brazilian picanha, a petite sirloin roast, and a thick-cut T-bone steak, just to name a few. Plus great bonus items like burgundy wine marinated mushrooms and so much more. The Steak of the Month Club is exciting, easy, and just perfect for Dad. Sign up today at any of the Butcher's Market's 6 Triangle locations or at thebutchersmarkets.com. Now open at Lake Boone Trail.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money, your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Scattered storms developing this afternoon, continuing into the evening. It's a level 1 risk for severe weather, with wind damage being the biggest threat. Also a hot day today, 91 degrees, 69 overnight tonight, and then tomorrow it feels more comfortable. We'll see a high of 88 degrees with a drop in humidity under partly cloudy skies.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 78 points to 38,886.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is, as every offseason, especially once OTAs get started and mandatory mini camps get started, it's best shape of their life season. It's best shape of his life season. Every veteran who wasn't like an all-pro last year is showing up to mandatory mini camps in the best shape of their life.
Everyone feels good right now.
Everybody feels great.
Yeah, the veteran, like the wide receiver that's, 33, 34 years old.
Everybody looks fast.
Yeah, everyone feels good.
Everybody moves fast. Granted, they don't have any pads on and they aren't getting hit.
Exactly.
But they look fast.
Yeah. Nothing hurts right now.
Not yet, at least. Unless you are still nursing an injury from last year, DJ Wanham. Should I make a J.C. Horn injury joke, or should I just move on?
Nah, move on.
All right, we'll just move on. The reason why I say it's best shape of his life season is because it actually plays into what we talked about yesterday with the blueprint, the behind-the-scenes video series that the Panthers are putting out of their offseason. We're not going to hear about anything bad. Okay? Now, one thing we are hearing a ton about is Bryce Young's leadership. Bryce Young, second year, he's a more comfortable leader. He's a more vocal leader. He's more in his own shoes, comfortable leading the pros. He's a leader. He's a leader. Well, guess what? If he wasn't a great leader, if he was still a turtle in its shell going into his second year, we wouldn't hear about it. Right? The funniest thing about accountability in sports is that the number one thing that holds players and coaches accountable is not the culture in the locker room. It's not the angry coach who doesn't let you go. It's not the strength and conditioning coach that's the voice of honesty with all its players. It's none of that. The number one thing that keeps you accountable is the scoreboard, right? After a loss, you have to sit up there and take questions in a post-game press conference, and that's when, yes, I have to be better. I made the mistake. I can't throw that interception. Or if you're a coach, I have to make better calls. I have to have them better prepared. That's when accountability can happen. Right now, nobody's lost yet. There's no scoreboard that says you got beat by 17. Where's the blame going? So instead, everybody is just like, yeah, today was a great practice. If I see one more social media video of Aaron Rodgers throwing a no-look pass, I'm going, well, it's easy to be a no-look pass. It's easy to do that. I'm not saying he never does it in games, but it's easy to do it when interceptions don't matter. I'll go out there and throw no-look passes all day. Defense might catch half of them, but the other half, tweet out because they're going to look awesome. So Bryce Young's leadership, I hope it is better. I hope he has emerged out of that rookie shell that some find themselves in, right? That, oh, I don't want to step on toes. Oh, I need to see the lay of the land before I grab someone by the face mask and get in their grill. I get that. But let's not make a bigger thing let's not make a mountain out of a molehill, right? Let's not make a mountain out of a broken molehill. I read an article on The Athletic. It's all about the leadership. And there's a bunch of other, we have quotes from Andy Dalton, you have quotes from other coaches, you have quotes from other players. There's a bunch of articles about it. Bryce Young's leadership is the focus of this Athletic article. And one of the pieces of evidence they use to say, like, this guy's a leader, people are following him, is 12 teammates showed up to his youth camp in Charlotte. Now, as a fun fact, I think it's a good part of the interview. Like, I think it's kind of cool to know.
Yeah.
I think it's a good, like, hey, that's a thing to say.
He's in the community, and teammates are there. Love it.
I do not think that shows the leadership of the quarterback at all. I just factually don't. I think if guys are in the area and the backup tight end says, hey, I have a youth camp, can you stop by? 12 might show up. I think if Bryce Young asks anyone, even if he's not a great leader, he's still the quarterback. Guess which is one of the players that showed up? Terrace Marshall Jr. Guess who probably wants to be in the good graces of the person that decides whether he gets the ball thrown to him or not? Is that a good leader or is that a position of power? You could be a terrible leader if you decide how many balls the wide receivers catch. Wide receivers are going to show up. Andy Dalton said to The Athletic about Bryce Young, you see him with how comfortable he is right now in everything that we're doing, being in front of the team, calling up the offense and speaking wisdom over, hey, let's be intentional with today's practice. It's a quote from Andy Dalton. Now, Andy Dalton is doing his job. I'm not knocking Andy Dalton. Backup quarterback, what's your job? To serve the starter. That is your job. All of that kind of stuff, if that matters at all, let's be intentional with today's practice. That leadership goes as far as your talent will take you. What I mean by that is that leadership is contingent on him playing much better this year than last year.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't play well, if you are maybe one of the main reasons for a loss or for a slump, and then you come in the next day screaming at guys to be intentional at today's practice, you will be met with eye rolls. Now, it's not you wish it wasn't that way, right? You wish that no matter who's on the roster, good, bad, or indifferent, you can show up and be somebody that sets the tone for a practice, but that's just not the way humans work. That's just not the way humans work. I believe Shaquille O'Neal calls it G14 certified, and I'm not sure why it's G14. Maybe there's a meaning behind it.
Okay.
But he talks about when guys become G14 certified, and that basically means, like, you can be honest. You can critique, right? Shaq in his career, and Shaq obviously big personality, very good player. Like, if you're not G14 certified, if you're somebody that hasn't had success in the league, if you're somebody that hadn't been on winning teams, and you come to him and say, come on, man, you got to be in better shape to start the season, he's going to look at you like you got 12 heads, and he might try to punch one of them.
Or all 12.
Or bop, 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 bop. Unbelievable combo from Shaquille O'Neal. That exists in every professional sport. That exists in every college sport. The whole, like, rookies tend to stay in their corner is because they haven't done anything yet. And Bryce Young, even though he's played a full year, hate to say it, in the eyes of some veterans, still hasn't done anything yet. He had 2 game-winning drives. Give him credit for that.
Yep.
That's about it. That
is it.
The resume that Bryce Young has is 2 game-winning drives. That's it. All of this leadership stuff that's coming out about OTAs and mini camps, it goes down the drain if he doesn't play better football this year. Meanwhile, C.J. Stroud, again, they're going to be linked forever, is out there, like, ranking teammates on podcasts. He's down-talking Aaron Rodgers on podcasts, saying he'd rather have Eli Manning's career, saying if you put Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers' shoes in Green Bay, Matt Stafford would have 3 or 4 championships. Like, C.J. Stroud's all over the place. I guarantee you he could be that outlandish on the practice field. He'd still be seen as a leader because he did accomplish some things in his rookie year. He does have some G14 certification. He does have some things to back up, hey, when I ask you to do something, do it. I know what it takes to be successful in the NFL.
It does sound like, though, with Bryce saying, hey, let's be intentional today, it sounds like he's just echoing what Dave Canales is saying, which is a good thing, right?
Is if everyone else buys into it.
That's true. Well, at least he's bought in.
But I'm saying if everybody else isn't bought into Bryce, you're going to get suck up. Teacher's pet.
Yeah, that guy.
You get that. But if they like Bryce and they buy into Bryce and Bryce is having success on the field, then they will then it's good. Then it's what you said. Then it's just a coach on the field. It's everybody's on the same page. Good culture, good vibes. Everybody loves each other. A surprising amount of, like, buy-in to leadership. I don't know why I said surprising. A large amount of buy-in to leadership has directly to do with the success you're having in sports. I don't know how it is everywhere else, but in sports, if you're not having success on the field or on the court or in the pool, on the track, it's hard for you to be like a team leader. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly for Capital Financial Advisory Group, and of course that includes my guy Coach Pete. One of the things I really like about Coach Pete is he can take some very, very complex things, right? When you're planning for your retirement, we all wish it was simple, right? Take money, put it into an account, there it is, right? You wish it was as simple as, like, take money, put it in a sock under your mattress, there you go, you're ready. But it's more complicated than that, right? There's all these different bonds and stocks and risk and life insurance and blah, 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 and a million different categories within each of those categories. Well, Coach Pete can simplify it all. He has giant 8-foot whiteboards with color-coded markers that can break down your entire, complete and total customized retirement plan that'll help you be completely confident that your money's not going anywhere all the way through retirement, and completely confident that you're getting the most out of your money and you're living at the top of that maximized income. And it can all be shown to you on these giant whiteboards, completely broken down, color-coded, so it's easy to understand. Right now, Coach Pete is giving away 10 golden tickets to get some of you his best-selling books, plus his box sets that have workbooks and DVDs, as well as a $1,000 consultation process that takes the worry out of retirement planning so you can enjoy peace of mind about your financial future. 10 golden tickets, best-selling books, box sets, consultation process that takes the worry out of retirement planning. All you have to do is let them know I sent you. So call 800-691-3215, and if you want the golden ticket I talked about, say, hey, I heard about it from Tim on 99.9 The Fan. Or just text my name, Tim, to 600-700. That's TIM to 600-700 to get the golden ticket from Coach Pete and everyone at Capital Financial Advisory Group. Normally, we do cons and cons coming up next. We have a little bit of a tweak. We're going a little bit old school. I'll show you how coming up next.
We're jamming your June with championships. The NBA Finals.
The Celtics have finished the sweep. They rally again, and it's on to the NBA Finals.
The Stanley Cup Finals.
Reinhardt scores. The Panthers win Game 4.
The U.S. Open.
Payne Stewart is the 1999 U.S. Open champion. Oh, my.
Catch every winning moment with us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Hey, you love what you love. So save on your faves, like a sausage McMuffin with egg or bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles for just $2.50.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Gilbert worked in retail and restaurant management for 14 years. It was time for a change.
I recognized where I was at was vulnerable to the whims of the economy.
Then he heard about My Computer Career. Gilbert went for it.
In as little as 7 months, I got all of my certifications at a fraction of a cost for college.
He became an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
I can work from anywhere. I have more time for my family as well.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Is your heating and air system ready for hot weather? Call Newcomb & Company today to schedule a routine maintenance and ensure your system is operating at peak performance. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs for HVAC and plumbing work. Newcomb & Company has served the area as a Carrier Factory authorized dealer for more than 3 generations. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company and Carrier. Your comfort is our business.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you listen to this show often enough, you know we have a game we often play called Cons and Cons. It's a play, like, stands for confidence and concerns. And we break down a certain topic, a certain team, a certain whatever, with what are we most confident about or what are we most concerned about, cons and cons. But it all started as a play on the term pros and cons. Cons and cons, haha, no pros. It all started as like a bait and switch. We thought for today, because this Martin Necas trade has been rattling around in our brains a bunch. When I say Martin Necas trade, it's obviously a potential trade. Nothing has happened yet. Because it's been so in the news, and there's so many rumors when it comes to the Canes, and will they or won't they trade Martin Necas, and if they do, where will they trade him? What do they want back? What could they get for him? Which teams are interested? More importantly, which teams aren't interested? We thought we'd go old school. We'd go pros and cons. We'd go, what are the pros of the Canes trading Martin Necas, and what are the cons of the Canes trading Martin Necas? Fired up.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
Confidence. Or just pros and cons. We're going old school this time. I have a handful for each. I don't know what you've prepared.
Yeah, I've got some stuff.
All right, cool. We'll just alternate then.
All right.
I'll start. We have good news and bad news. Which do you want first? You know you always go
cons.
Bad news first. So we'll start with the cons. The cons of trading Martin Necas, and I didn't want to overlook this even though it's simple. And it's not the only one I have, but it is a legitimate option. He's good. The loss of talent. He's 25 years old. He has physical skills. There are a few guys on the team where you can identify them, like if you had bad vision and you needed glasses and you didn't have them and it was fuzzy, you can identify Martin Necas when he makes a run, right? When he's a fast individual. He brings certain talents to the Carolina Hurricanes, and traditionally, when you have someone that is above average in talent or significantly above average in talent, you don't want to send those players away from your team. You want to attract those players to your team. So a con would be simply the loss of the talent that Martin Necas is. Give us a con, Dennis.
My con was along those lines. You're going to have to replace another top 6 forward. Because as of right now, if Carolina does not re-sign Teuvo Teravainen, if Jake Guentzel elects to sign elsewhere, and if you trade Martin Necas, those were 3 of your top 6 forwards to end out the last season. 3 of your top 6.
One of my cons is maybe losing too much.
Potentially.
Because especially today they're saying Guentzel, possibly Chicago is an option. If that builds steam and that happens, then yeah, I mean it could be too much. But actually that leads me to one of my pros. So let's jump up to the pros.
Okay.
Change. I know this is brutal to say out loud, and some fans are going to hate me, and some fans are going to get mad at me on social media, and some fans are not going to agree. It does feel in part that, like, as constructed, the Carolina Hurricanes have reached some kind of imaginary ceiling in the postseason. They run into a team that matches up well with them. They play a bunch of close games, and they lose that series. And they've now run it back a few times. Yes, with little differences. You had Guentzel this year. You didn't the year before. Yes, Svetch was healthy. Svetch wasn't healthy. This goalie, that goalie. Like, there are little tweaks. But I do think it's kind of a healthy time to not just change for the sake of change, but if there's something that you've been wanting to try, now's a good time to pull the trigger on that. And we know that they've been at least in talks for Martin Necas trades for 2 seasons at least. If you're like, well, we struggled with it last year, maybe, do we, It's like, well, now, no, do it, right? Because you need to try something new. You need change. I've dubbed it the off-season of change. There's probably an amount that is too much change, but flirt with that line. Go find it. I don't mind them making a big move, try to shake things up to see if they can't get through that glass ceiling. Give us a pro.
Well, pro, if you do trade them, you can fill your, like we said, one of the cons is going to be there's going to be a void there in your top 6. But you can fill other holes with a trade of Martin Necas. You can add to your defense. You can add another forward to depth in your lineup as well, because there's no guarantee that Jordan Martinook comes back. There are different spots that need to be filled. Even throughout your entire lineup, you can fill 2 spots probably with 1 player.
I look at it like this. Of the players that could potentially leave, Jake Guentzel, Brady Shea, Brett Pesce, you brought up Jordan Martinook, Teuvo Teravainen. Of all these guys that could potentially leave, only one of them could fill 2 of those slots if they leave, and that's Martin Necas, right? Like if Brett Pesce signed somewhere else for $50 million, he's just gone, right? It's not like he's gone and, but you might get some picks back in return. Like if Jake Guentzel goes to Chicago, it's not like, hey, at least we get Chicago's second rounder the next 2 years. Like they're just gone. Martin Necas could go, and this would be a pro. And then if you bring back somebody that could be a top 6 winger and somebody that could be a third-line defenseman, you've now solved 2 holes in your lineup that otherwise would just be empty. One of mine was he will bring back something of value.
Yeah.
He's, because of all the talent we talked about, the pro would be you get something legit back. We're going to talk about during Storm Tracker what a Kotkaniemi trade might look like. You're not really bringing back something of value in a Kotkaniemi trade. Maybe cap space. Martin Necas would bring back, like, pieces.
You actually get tangible players back in return, and guys that could actually play in your lineup right away.
I have one more pro and one more con.
I have one more pro.
All right, go ahead with your pro.
But the pro is, to keep Martin Necas, it's going to cost you money. And here's the thing. There are more guys out there that need that than Martin Necas. You still need to sign Seth Jarvis to a contract extension. You still need to sign, if you can, Jake Guentzel to a contract extension. You know who's due for a contract extension within the next year? Jacob Slavin. Well, guess what? All those guys are going to make way more money than they cost this past season. Who would you rather keep? Of these 4 guys.
Those guys you just
mentioned. Of these 4 guys.
I don't know which ones I'd rather keep, but I know who's in 4th.
Exactly. Who's in 4th between Slavin, Necas, Guentzel, and Jarvis? Who's
make
in
me
4th?
Choose between Slavin, Guentzel, and Jarvis, but I know who's in 4th.
Who's in 4th?
Martin Necas.
It's Necas. So that's where you save the money.
Yeah, it's true. And the cap, gosh, they need a GM. That's something that got to monitor. Like, if Jake Guentzel leaves, does that? And anyway, do you want my last pro or my last con?
Con then pro.
Cons is the magic beans of the return. You do know Martin Necas is a talent. You do know Martin Necas can play in the Kane system. You do know Martin Necas won't upset the locker room. Like, those are knowns because you've seen it the last 2 years. Now, I don't know if he's being best utilized in the Kane system, but he's in the Kane. We know for these magic beans that we hope turn into something better. And that's just going to be a little scary, right? And needless to say, like, if draft picks or whatever are involved, then those become even more like crapshoots. My final pro, and I don't want this to be laughed out of the building, the happiness of the player. I think it's obvious Martin Necas doesn't see himself being utilized best in a Carolina Hurricanes uniform.
Mm-hmm.
And Dennis, I know you coach, so you may see this even better.
Oh, yeah.
From my playing career, golly, if a guy is unhappy, if they're not loving life in the dorms, or if they're getting their butts kicked in school, or if there's something going on at home, you're not going to get the best level of But when they're happy, when they feel like life is good, when they're working hard and being rewarded, and they're achieving the goals that they've set, you start to see that player get better and better and better and better. If every day Martin Necas is at practice and he's on the wing and he's going, centerman, centerman.
All right,
centerman.
PP1. Oh, yeah. Let me go get some water.
And the most team first, team always, team only guys can't help but have that stuff pop into their brain. I mean, I've been a backup quarterback that thought I should have been the starting quarterback, and every time it's like, all right, one's out there. You jog to the sideline, get a nice drink of water. You're mad. You're mad. And exactly that. All right, let's get power play one, that side of the ice. I'll skate to this side of the ice. It's tough. So if you get him out of there, I wouldn't even hold it against Martin Necas. Let's say he gets traded. Give me one of the teams of the 17 that have been linked. Just
Montreal.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Montreal and has a great season.
Oh, yeah. He'll put up 80 points.
And Canes fans looking around going, why did we trade that 80-point scorer? And I'd be going, wouldn't have been an 80. He's not an 80-point scorer here.
Yeah.
He's a little bit unhappy. He's playing a little bit different role. He's taking a little bit more of a back seat, which makes him a little bit less happy, which he's not on the power play, which makes him a little bit less happy. I think sometimes that whole change of scenery thing just to boost the athlete's, temperature shouldn't be overlooked.
So yeah, he might go somewhere and put up 80 points this season, and then when the playoffs roll around and go, oh yeah, that's why we didn't want to keep him.
Because he'll be watching? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that or oh wait, all the stuff that he could do in the regular season, like free wheel and all that kind of stuff. Oh wait, can't do that in the playoffs.
I'm not saying this to be mean. Somebody that supports the Canes calling somebody else out for their game not working in the postseason. Little pot calling the kettle a little bit. Little pot calling the kettle. You know what that means?
No.
That means kind of you calling someone else out for something that you also struggle with. Meaning, if a Canes supporter looked at someone else and said, your game doesn't work in the postseason like it does in the regular season.
Oh, yeah.
It comes across a little bit as look in the mirror, buddy. Martin Necas leaving and being like, my game doesn't work in the postseason. It's I don't know if Canes can be the ones to call that out. Unless they go on to win the Cup next year, in which case, floodgates on the trash talk. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's quickly hit to a soccer tournament update going on in Cary as we speak, right? Is it raining out there? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, not here it's fine, but I know there's call for thunderstorms
they
and
were
stuff
moving
today.
Around
they moved some
times
games
and
around.
I have to give a shout out, a little bit of I was unfamiliar with your game, to Pat McAfee. Yesterday we did a soccer tournament update, and I used the Casey Hintz of WRAL tweet to say, Pat's out there, not a lot of touches, but he can be a good motivator. And my take on that is, if someone is complimenting your motivational skills as a participant in a sporting event, you're probably not playing that sporting event that greatly, impressively. But then I went home and I checked the old Twitters, and there's a video going around. Pat McAfee kind of put a dope pass out there for a goal for his squad.
Dropped the dime out there.
The cross, if you will. And a little scissor kick from his teammate on the left side. Looked like Pat McAfee knew what he was doing and knew his way around a soccer ball a little bit. So, more than just a motivator, Pat McAfee. I want to emphasize that after yesterday, making a few jokes at your expense. Also, J.J. Watt, I stand by it. You're heavy-footed. I said it yesterday. I watched more clips last night. You're a defensive lineman playing soccer, and guess what? If I was watching that, I would have said it looks like a defensive lineman playing soccer. There's a few stereotypes, right? You remember in gym class when the wrestler tried to play basketball?
Mm-hmm.
He was going to curl the ball up like a football and he was going to run into the paint and knock someone over. Looked like J.J. Watt playing soccer. He was the all-conference football player that was in PE class in high school playing dodgeball. Just a little bit heavier footed, a little bit more of a bull in a china shop. That's what he looked like out there. Knocked a guy down, put that J.J. Watt 1,000-watt smile on him, helped him up, kept playing soccer. That's what I saw from J.J. Watt. I'm not sure how the actual tournament is going, by the way. I know McAfee's team won a game. There you go. Let's go ahead and jump to the Storm Tracker. Storm Tracker, where we track the latest rumors for the Canes offseason. We've already talked about 2 or 3 of them today, but we've saved one for the Storm Tracker. Dennis, what can you tell us about the offseason of Jesperi Kotkaniemi?
So, to say the least, Jesperi Kotkaniemi had a down season for the Carolina Hurricanes, to say the least. But here's the thing when it comes to Jesperi Kotkaniemi. There's reports or rumors, we'll say rumors out there, that maybe Martin Necas is a little bit too expensive for teams like, let's say, the Calgary Flames. Calgary Flames apparently are interested in Martin Necas. Again, maybe a little bit too rich for them. They're not willing to part ways with everything that the Carolina Hurricanes or the trade as a whole would demand, but maybe they could still get a player that they could work with and have patience with over time because they are retooling and rebuilding their roster in Calgary. Well, what about a guy like Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who has 398 NHL games under his belt already, and he's only 23 years old. And he was a third
398.
398 games already. And he was a third overall pick in 2018, 1 pick right behind Andrei Svechnikov. He's played a lot. Now, he's had some productive early seasons in his career. Like, for example, a couple years ago, put up 43 points and 18 goals in 2021, 2022. That season, his first year at the Canes, people were thinking, okay, we've seen the potential here. Maybe he's finally living up to that. Again, still only 23 years old. A lot of teams around the NHL still think, you know what, there is still potential for growth there. And then as the salary cap increases, $4.8 million isn't really going to look that bad, especially in a couple of years as the cap continues to grow. So what about a potential trade for a guy like Jesperi Kotkaniemi? That is something that a team like Calgary that is looking to rebuild could potentially do because he's under contract for the next 6 years. You'll still get him as he's entering into the prime years of his career, and the potential of growth is still there.
The interesting part about this, first of all, I get the logic for a team like Calgary.
100%.
Jesperi Kotkaniemi, the reason why the Canes, I think, are interested in potentially moving on is, A, it's a money thing, and B, his floor is a little bit lower, but his ceiling is high. If I don't know what the percentage is, it may be unlikely, but if he hits the ceiling of what his talent says it could be, Calgary would look like a genius.
Of course.
But they'd be taking on the risk of paying $4.8 million per year until 2030 to see if that lottery ticket can pay off and if they can look like a genius. The funny part is it feels like the Canes have like a menu or something. Like they're the guys selling the fake Rolexes out of their trench coat, and they're like opening up one arm and they're like, "Hey, I got this over here," and they're like, "I don't know, that's a little pricey. I got these Martin Necas right here. And it's a little expensive. All right, that's fine. They close that part of their trench coat. They open up the other. Can I interest you in some Jesperi Kotkaniemi?
I got this right here, though.
This one's going to be half the price. It's going to be
good bargain.
Will it last as long? I don't know, but I'm just telling you, it might be something more in the line with the market that you're looking at. Like if that's what they're doing, it's kind of an interesting move, right? It's they're being both Amazon and Temu.
There you go.
Right? It's like got the
Wish.com over here.
The 2-day delivery on Martin Necas, or it gets there when it gets there of Jesperi Kotkaniemi, but they're fulfilling the needs of everybody in the market. Which is a strange way to put all of that.
But it's a potential thing that could happen. And,
yes.
And here's the thing as well. If Carolina is able to move on from Jesperi Kotkaniemi because they're in our windows right now with the talent that we have and the guys that we're looking to bring back.
To hopefully nurse him back to what we thought he could be.
Yeah, like maybe.
And if there's a team out there that's willing to take that lotto ticket off your hands, kind of take that to the bank.
Yeah.
Like, there's a world where you're interested in trading Kotkaniemi for $4.8 million a year in cap space.
That's a lot.
It's a ton. Even if Calgary doesn't necessarily want to give you much in return. Because think about the question that we're being asked often about Kotkaniemi. Could you buy him out?
That is an option.
And buying him out would be, what is it, like $10-point-something million in cash.
Yeah, spread out over like 12 years.
Spread out over 12 years.
So you're looking at a cap hit of, let's say, about $850,000 for the next 12 years.
You trade him for a bag of pucks, meaning like, I don't know, a future sixth, something crazy.
There might be a third pair defenseman that's just kind of unhappy.
Some
that
AHL defenseman.
Maybe. Or just, again, a third pair defenseman that could be the 6th, 7th guy for Carolina. Okay.
And you get that. That's no different. Even if that player, that third pair defenseman you brought up, even if he is the 7th defenseman all year and none of the top 6 get hurt ever, and he never sees the ice for you, that's still better than buying him out, which seems to be an option, right? Because you, at the very least, you save that cap space over the next 12 years. So if someone is out there, if there is a Calgary that's going like, give us someone with a high ceiling, I think you try to sell them on Kotkaniemi before even Necas. You try to sell Kotkaniemi first, and then if they go, I got no interest, then you go, all right, let me interest you in my top shelf option over here, the Martin Necas side of things. That is the Storm Tracker here on 99.9 The Fan every day at 4:33. The biggest Canes rumors right now. Here's Dennis Cox.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. I'm talking no credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value, it's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money out for that home improvement project you've been talking about doing. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now at 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Call 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If Dan Hurley leaves the NCAA, if he leaves college basketball to take the Lakers job like many are expecting, who becomes the face of college basketball, and could it be here in the Triangle? Stick around.
Longer days mean longer rides. Make sure your bike, your ATV, your side-by-side, even your golf cart are the best around. From sound station and security, we've got custom stereo systems, custom speakers, even video and LED lighting options for your bike, your ATV, and even your golf cart. Look the coolest on the road or at the lake, just tooling around. All available with installation from sound station and security, with 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Online at myhotsound.com.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, it's bow time. So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Golfers, Global Golf is home to Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf gear. This week, receive 20% off any pre-owned golf gear purchase of $600 or more. Now is the time to trade in and update your current golf clubs with Global Golf's 15% trade-in bonus. And don't miss getting the perfect gift for Dad with Father's Day around the corner at Global Golf, located in North Raleigh at 7320 ACC Boulevard. Global Golf, home to the best deals in golf.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Alice Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. When people come over to the showroom, they see all of these great doors. I'm not saying that this is what you guys specialize in. You specialize in everything, but let's talk some doors.
The doors are a great way to beautify your home. And when you come into the showroom, one of the first things I ask you to do is to open and close the door. It's a big difference. So with the doors, you pick out the hardware, you pick out the colors, you pick out the style. They come in fiberglass, they come in steel. We got multiple glass options. It's a great way to improve your home. It's easy to do. It's affordable. And these doors, a lot of times you go in and out the door 10, 20 times a day. You might open the windows 10 times a year.
Though that is true. By the way, I'm not sure I've ever walked through my front door.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, we use the back door.
The back door is side door. We do those also.
All right. That's Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. 800-672-4348 on Hamlin Road in Durham. AluminumCompany.com. Check them out if you need a door.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy? Now you can get 50% off any unlimited data phone plan. That's one line for only $25 a month, and you keep the phone you love. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. So find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Offer ends July 31st, 2024. Promo subject to cancellation after 12 months. Available exclusively online and in Total by Verizon stores. Requires a compatible unlocked device and SIM. See totalbyverizon.com for device compatibility and additional details. Taxes and fees may apply.
Trane heating and cooling systems are engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Do not forget, if you want to win tickets to the U.S. Open, Sunday, the Sunday for the U.S. Open, these tickets are good for Sunday. You need to text in golf to our text line, 919-860-5326. This is a text to win. Text the word golf, G-O-L-F, to 919-860-5326. U.S. Open stacked field this year and every year. But this year it's at Pinehurst, which is right nearby. The course looks like it's in great shape. I saw on social media some of the big names have already started showing up.
Really? Already there?
Yeah, they gotta get there, especially those that may have been in multiple car accidents that maybe if they want to play practice rounds. I'm talking about Tiger Woods.
Oh, okay.
If they want to play a practice round while also staying ultimately fresh for next Thursday, you want to get here early and play some of the course and get your numbers down and everything so you can take days off and you can be rested and ready to roll. Huh?
Okay. Maybe we'll see him on Wednesday when we're there. Ooh,
let's get him on the show.
Let's get him on the show. I'll work on it.
I got a friend of 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 a friend who once saw a tiger.
I'm not gonna lie, that'd be pretty dope. Be like, hey, Tiger, just got 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. That's all we need.
I've been against the ropes as a fan when he is making a golf shot. I've screamed very loudly after his golf shots. He's never acknowledged me. But we're best friends. Let's go ahead and jump into our next conversation. By the way, golf, text golf, G-O-L-F, to 919-860-5326 to enter for a chance to win Sunday U.S. Open tickets. There you go. There's going to be a link that comes back. Do whatever it says. All right. Dan Hurley, back-to-back national championship coach of UConn. Reportedly the target, the apple of the eye of the Los Angeles Lakers. They are prepared to break the bank with a very, very large, lucrative offer to make Dan Hurley their next head coach. If he leaves UConn, college basketball, by the way, I don't much think that there's any dramatic, oh, this is a sign of the end of college basketball. We've seen good coaches jump to the pros in the past. Rick Pitino, John Calipari, Billy Donovan, Brad Stevens. Like, it's happened in every era. If you get a young, hotshot coach that looks like he knows basketball, he's going to get a shot to run an NBA deal. It's just kind of happens. If somebody bursts onto the scene, they win back-to-back national championships, they're going to have a shot to go ahead and coach in the NBA. It's just going to happen. All right? So miss me with all of the, with NIL, no good coach is ever going to stay. I saw somebody say John Harbaugh and Dan Hurley, national championship coaches, both could end up coaching pro. Sign of the times. I went, you know where Jim Harbaugh came from, right? He's already coached in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he went from college to pro to college back to pro.
He played in the NFL for like a decade. Dan Hurley. He's just the it guy right now. If he takes the job, it's not the end of college basketball, even though everyone wants to talk about it. Here's a clip of Gino Auriemma on the Dan Patrick Show. He obviously being the face of women's college basketball for years and years and years and years. Gino Auriemma, the coach of UConn, women's basketball, talking about his men's basketball counterpart in UConn and the state of college basketball.
But I do think that being at UConn and given the state of college basketball and the amount of money now it's going to take to be able to put together a national championship team every single year, I think, and without knowing where it's going, it's a charade. It's this idea of student athlete welfare. Every single thing that comes out of the NCAA's mouth about student athlete welfare, mental, it's bullshit. That has no factor ever anymore. And I never want to hear anybody utter those words associated with college basketball. They are professional athletes, just not called that. So you might as well go coach professional athletes where it's real. Now, if Danny were to leave and somebody said to me, he just took this NBA job, I won't name any particular city, I would say, you're set up for failure.
Should turn my mic on before I start reacting to comments. But he also said this is the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, he did continue on about that.
It's not just anything. If he leaves for the Los Angeles Lakers, for that reason, the buzz, right? It's the Los Angeles Lakers. Where does the buzz go in college basketball? If he leaves, who is the face of college basketball? For the last 2 years, it's been Dan Hurley. Because he won 2 national championships with very different teams. It's not like, Donovan Clingan was the star of the first run and the second run. He was a role player on the first run, star of the second run, right? That's kind of the reason why everyone's excited about Dan Hurley, because he won back-to-back national championships with different teams. So this is where I want to ask questions like this. College Basketball Preview Magazine. You need to make the cover. And you want to cover somebody that everybody recognizes, right? You're in the grocery store in the magazine aisle. You need a cover where everybody goes, oh, the college basketball guy. Who do you put on the cover? Who is it? I think if Dan Hurley was returning to UConn, it's Dan Hurley. And he's probably screaming and he's probably, in a defensive stance on the sideline. And his mouth is in position to make a curse word. That's what it is. But who is it if he leaves? And let me ask you this. Is it Jon Scheyer or Hubert Davis? Even though their longevity is not there, even though they've neither won a national championship, even though there's things they need to do based on the teams they coach and the players they've coached in the last few years and will coach this year, is it one of them? Because here's the thing. I listed all those other coaches that have done it. Billy Donovan and Rick Pitino and I'm blanking on Butler. Brad Stevens. When Brad Stevens and Billy Donovan jumped to the pros, Coach K, Roy Williams, Calhoun up there in UConn, Jim Boeheim, there were there were those to be the face. I'm not sure there is one right now. Now, you could say this two ways. You could say this is a huge problem for college basketball. They don't have a face of their sport, and oh no, how are they going to market themselves in an era where cord cutters are becoming more prominent? How will college basketball, football is the driving of everything? Or you could say this: what a great opportunity for the next group of college coaches to level up quickly, right?
You're going to need to.
For 2 decades, it was Peyton Manning, it was Tom Brady, it was Phillip Rivers, it was Eli Manning, it was these guys, and then they were gone. And guess what happened? Patrick Mahomes said, "I'll do it," and he stepped right up and took advantage of that opportunity. Which coach in college basketball is going to Patrick Mahomes this bad boy and go, "You had Kay, you had Roy for 4 decades. Now they're gone. Let me swoop in. Give me the State Farm commercials. I want to talk with my coach about the Nuggies." If you kept up with all those references, I give you a lot of credit.
That's the thing. College basketball, though, it's been so centralized or focused down to just March. And college basketball has to continue to get its. I mean, in this area, not so much, but on a national scale, people don't care as much about college basketball up until March.
It's regional until March. Yeah,
we're here. Here it's different. You are still on a national scale, still trying to compete for eyeballs outside of the month of March college basketball. Who's going to be that face that everyone knows?
And I do think the face of college basketball, it's healthier for the sport if it's a coach.
Yeah.
Because players turn over too quickly. The best ones are only going to be there a year or two. The coaches are the constants. So, again, number 1 recruiting class in the country. If John Shire does something special this year, he's going to be around a long time at Duke if he has that success. Hubert Davis, the same thing. He'll be around a long time if he has a tremendous amount of success. So, I think almost the next young coach to win it all, and when I say win it all, might just slide right in nicely to that, like, all right, give me the crown, and I'll wear it for 4 decades, just like we've seen some others do. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Here's Dennis Cox.
Dennis Cox here for my friends at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. You've heard me say it. Father's Day, we're about 10 days away, folks. If you're looking for something to do with Dad, go to Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Now, here's something that you could do at Deep River. It's more than just a place to shoot. Obviously, you can do your round of clays. They have the shooting school. You can get one-on-one instruction. Whatever it is that you need, they have for your shooting needs. It's all down there at Deep River. But here's something you can do as well. You can contact them in advance. So if you want to bring your family together. Hey, we're going to do something for Dad. Not maybe just for Father's Day, but for birthdays, anniversaries, you name it, family get-togethers. You can contact them ahead of time. Book their outdoor pavilions. They also have a nice outdoor fire pit depending on the time of year that you're there. So when you get done with your round of clays, they can have food and drink for you at their pavilions ready for you once you get done with your round of clays, so you can have more time spent with each other, have that fellowship with one another after you're done with your round of clays at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. That's something that they can offer. It's an experience you're going to want to have again and again and again. Go to deepriversportingclays.com. Again, deepriversportingclays.com, and let the adventure begin.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The starting 5 is coming up next, including a report about a possible Jake Guentzel destination in free agency that is not Carolina. Where is it? Stick around.
99.9 The Fan and Arise Urology Clinic present Men's Health Month. More than 30 million men suffer from prostate-related issues impacting their quality of life. When men near the age of 40, they may start to experience growth with their prostate. Make sure to get your yearly checkups with your primary doctor to ensure everything is healthy. It's vital. Help yourself and prevent long-term complications before they happen. Men's Health Month is powered by Arise. Call Arise Urology Clinic for Men at 919-964-3750 or visit CoreWaveTherapy.com.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers, the best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Terms and conditions apply.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This Father's Day, give Dad the gift that keeps on giving with the Butcher's Market Steak of the Month Club. Dad will enjoy a fresh, hand-cut steak every month for 6 months, like a prime New York strip steak, a Brazilian picanha, a petite sirloin roast, and a thick-cut T-bone steak, just to name a few. Plus great bonus items like burgundy wine marinated mushrooms and so much more. The Steak of the Month Club is exciting, easy, and just perfect for Dad. Sign up today at any of the Butcher's Market's 6 Triangle locations or at thebutchersmarkets.com. Now open at Lake Boone Trail.
Get bonus days to save during Window Nation's semi-annual sale now through June 30th. Get 50% off all windows along with no interest for 5 years, plus a bonus 10% savings when you schedule an estimate. If your inefficient windows are costing you too much for air conditioning, that's a big deal. Now during Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace them and save a big deal too. Offer ends June 30th, so schedule your in-home estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Welcoming you back to appointment day at the Martinez house. Raul Martinez looking stressed about scheduling a colon cancer screening, but he just pledged to get screened.
Stand Up to Cancer and Optum want to help you reduce your risk for cancer. Visit takeahealthystand.org.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. It's an approaching cold front that's kicking off some showers and storms through the evening. Some strong, maybe severe. A stray shower can't be ruled out overnight with a low at 68. Less humid for your Friday afternoon. It's mostly sunny, 88.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 78 points to 38,886. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five. Let's start with number 5. Should I do it? I was gonna give you my own rendition if I've got 5 on it. Elliot Friedman, Sportsnet, floated a destination for Jake Guentzel in free agency that is not Carolina. So I feel like we all need to emotionally prepare for this. Let's hear from Elliot Friedman.
I look at it this way. Jake Guentzel he's a Midwest guy.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago is a Midwest location. Also, they do need to get players to play with Bedard. Same reasons you just explained there. And I don't know. It just it doesn't seem insane to me. And I don't know if Chicago is really looking to, quote unquote, accelerate the process as much as they realize they have to move things forward and they have to begin surrounding with Bedard with some players that will allow him to showcase even more.
Chicago.
The worst.
Jake Guentzel to Chicago. Are you buying it? I'm looking at you, Dennis.
No, I'm not buying it because I think Jake Guentzel, he can get that money really with any team, just about. He's at a point where the guy wants to win. It's not going to be in Chicago, a team that's rebuilding. I know they got Connor Bedard there, who's a stud. They ain't winning anytime soon.
Not even with Jake Guentzel?
Not even with Jake Guentzel. That roster is
Jake Guentzel already has a ring. Maybe he just wants to pile on some stats.
He could do that in Carolina and win.
He's got to share the puck a little bit more in Carolina.
You got to share it with Bedard. Who will share it with him? It's totally fine.
I was going to say, that's about it. Those two just pass it back and forth.
Yeah, I know.
There's not a lot of hungry hippos
it'd be
up there.
miserable there. Call what it is.
Miserable there, the hockey player, or miserable there because you don't like Chicago?
No, the hockey.
Okay.
Because the team stinks. There's a reason why they have the second pick in the draft.
Yeah, that's true too. But also you get to play eventually with that pick. Like he's signing a 7 or an 8 year deal. If it's an 8 year deal, it obviously has to be with Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
7 years. I do think you want to think about the entire 7 years if you're Jake Guentzel. And I mean, I'm not saying like if you go to Carolina, it's like, oh, the last 5 years are going to stink because I think they've proven to have some longevity. But you know, Bedard is seen highly. I guess, and by the way, like Guentzel's a coach's kid. Like he's got his thoughts on development and everything. I think it's going to be, and you what you said is completely right. Jake Guentzel is he can get that money anywhere, right? If he's looking for 9.5 a year, $9 million and $9.5 million a year, he can. I mean, darn near name his spot. There's only a few that would be like, nope, not interested. Especially if he's willing to take 9. So that almost makes it, I think, more difficult for Carolina to convince him to stay. Because then you have to find out whatever his priority is and sell him on that. It's an easy negotiation. Like when college coaches get frustrated with NIL that players are just going to the highest bidder, I'm going, what are you talking about? That makes your job so much easier. You used to have to pretend to like, hobbies that they're into. You used to have to go to track meets they were running in the middle of nowhere, some small town. You used to have to pretend that their mom cooked the food just like you like when you were at your in-home visit. You used to have to do so much. Now you walk in and go, what's your biggest offer? You say you got $200,000 to go to an SEC school? All right, I think I can do $225,000. Like, that's your entire recruitment now. If Jake Guentzel was someone just looking for the highest bidder, I would love his chances of coming to Carolina. Because it'd be like, well, you can give the 8th year. You can give more guaranteed money. How are you going to beat that? But I think he's going to get similar offers from a lot of different places when it comes to dollars per year. And I think he's going to be looking for something hockey related, right? Now, does he want to play with a great center? Does he want to play with a coach? I don't know what it is. Does he want to be the leading scorer? I don't know. I think there's something hockey related that he's looking for, and the Canes have to figure out what he wants and find a way to get it to him. And then once they do that, give him $9.5 million a year over the next 8 years. That's number 5. Let's jump to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen. Woo!
We are 1 week away.
1 week.
From the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. Which, by the way, if you want to go to see Sunday's action at Pinehurst at the U.S. Open, we have a pair of tickets we are giving away. Boop. We have a pair of tickets we're giving away in a text to enter competition.
Mm-hmm.
You have to text in the word golf, GOLF, to 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Golf is the word to text in. Then a link will come back to what the link says. But we are 1 week away from the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. And I've said this, and do you know what's the best part?
What's that?
By the way, we are coming up on, we're like a month away from a year of this show. I just want to throw that out there. We're going to have to do something. I don't know, we're going to get cupcakes or something. We're about a year, but the good news is I haven't had to lie at all because I actually really like this area. I grew up coming to this area. I have family in this area. I love this area. Sometimes, like, you know, at spots earlier in my career, I'd have to come in and pretend I was like a big fan of a team that I hadn't even known existed until, like, I worked for ESPN Ithaca in upstate New York. I had to fake a little bit of Cornell hockey knowledge. You may not believe this, didn't grow up a Cornell hockey fan, but suddenly I'm up there going like, Dryden is a Hall of Famer, and it all started here in Cornell. Like, I had to be that guy. I've said that that Pinehurst is one of my favorite U.S. Open venues since long before I knew I'd be working in this market. Since working in this market was just a pipe dream that I hoped happened one day. I've been talking about how much I love Pinehurst. I mean, obviously number 2, and that the history there, Payne Stewart and Pinehurst will forever be connected, right? It's the tragedy of the life cut short, the legacy of the golfer, the socks, everything. I remember, again, this is before I was working here, before I knew Pinehurst was going to be essentially in my metaphorical backyard. Payne Stewart passed away some years ago. I want to say 3 years ago, maybe during COVID. His wife, his widow, went through a closet that hadn't been opened in years and years and years and years, and just said, I'm going to auction all this stuff off. And it's like Payne Stewart's vest or Payne Stewart's shoes, and it was just like, hey, you know, for charity, whatever I can get. And I went in and I was like, how cool would it be to get like Payne Stewart socks? Because he always wore those high socks with the like old school golf looking attire. And I was like, all right, and one was like $17, and I was like, all right, 18. Then I went, I think I did my show at the time, and I came back, and each sock was up to like $84, like not even a pair of socks, each individual sock. And I was like, you know what? Never mind. I'm not paying $90 for used socks. But that's because part of what he did at Pinehurst. It's a legendary course. It's a legendary venue. It's a legendary tournament. And it starts up in our backyard next Thursday. And all of the legends, the current legends, are going to be there. Tiger's going to play. Phil's going to play. Rory's going to play. Scotty's going to play. Brooks is going to play. Spieth is going to play. All of them. Shout out to, I think it was Adam Scott. Do you know how important the U.S. Open is and how cool the U.S. Open is?
How cool?
Adam Scott has played in, I believe, 84 consecutive majors. That's a long time. There's 4 per year. So we're going like 20-plus years. He's played in every major. And he wasn't an auto qualifier for the U.S. Open this year. So, you win a major as he's done, then you're automatically qualified for a bunch of majors. That's all expired. He was not an automatically qualified golfer in the U.S. Open. The U.S. Open is so awesome because it's an open. Anyone can qualify. Adam Scott, right? We're talking about a Masters champion. We're talking about a guy who's made hundreds of millions of dollars in his career. Went and qualified. He went to some qualifier, out there with the science teacher that just loves playing golf, the local pro, the 16-year-old that's trying to achieve a dream, and Adam Scott were out there, and he qualified for the U.S. Open. He's going to keep his streak alive. That's the beauty of the Open, right? Could be anybody out there. Or it could be Tiger Woods. It's everybody is involved. That's number 4?
Yep.
Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
Mavs, Celtics, Game 1, NBA Finals tonight. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan, Game 1. Keep it tuned right here. for the whole kit and caboodle, right? The whole.
I think we'll have the whole series on the fan as long as NC State baseball's not playing. As long as there's no conflict, I should say.
Beautiful. Hopefully, there's no conflict. I'm kind of we're talking about this. We're sprinkling in a little Game 1 NBA Finals talk throughout the show. Let me ask you this: Kyrie Irving, as polarizing as they come, right? Although he does seem like he's having kind of an upswing in popularity, maybe just because they're winning, and winning solves everything. Is Kyrie a Scottie Pippen? And I think you know what I mean when I'm asking.
Yeah,
that.
I know what you mean. I'd say yeah.
And there's no shame in that.
No, I mean he's one of the most skilled basketball players, Kyrie, that I've ever seen play.
Handles, finish package, all the layups and spin and creativity when he gets into the lane. He can also just flat out shoot it. He's shooting over 40% this year. But I think it's really valuable. And by the way, Kyrie, when they go do how they do at the 50 NBA anniversary, the 75, they do the NBA lists. He might be on the top 100 list for the 100th anniversary of the NBA. He's got that level of play. I think it's really valuable if you can really, truly believe and buy in to I am a Scottie Pippen, not a Michael Jordan. I think if he and Luka are cool with that, if Luka's like, I'm the guy, and Kyrie's like, I'm the guy that's next to the guy, that is so valuable. Because so often we see, right, it's more of the, I'm the guy, no, I'm the guy, no, I'm the guy, and then it doesn't end up working out when you have two guys that talented. If Kyrie's like, no, listen, I won a championship next to LeBron, and I have a chance to win a championship next to Luka, and I would say, obviously, the second best player on both of those teams, obviously meaning there's an obvious number one, and obvious meaning there's a gap between number two and number three. That's something that Kyrie Irving could play his way into a top 100 list with another title or two. Because the Mavs have looked good this postseason. And at times they do the whole your turn, my turn thing. Mm-hmm. Luka's all right, I'll come down, I'll score. All right, in the first quarter, I'll have 12. In the second quarter, you have 10. And in the third quarter, we'll both have 6. And then in the fourth quarter, I'll have 14 and you have 12. They do that little back and forth, and everybody seems to know their role.
They've learned to play well off of each other.
But with the acknowledgement that, Luka's the dude.
Yeah.
You know what, actually, and this, I'm sure I'm not the first one to say it, but it just popped into my head. Luka and Kyrie might be the best pair of below-the-rim teammates we've ever seen. Neither of them are winning dunk contests.
No.
They can dunk. Don't get me wrong. Every NBA player can. But they're if they get to the rim, they're trying to put some English on it and tap it off the backboard, jog back on defense, hit a fadeaway. They're two of the better below the rim teammates in NBA history. I'm racking my brain trying to think of anyone that could compete with them. Steph and Clay. But I don't think I have Luka, Steph, Kyrie's better than Clay, right?
Yeah, I'd say overall.
Below the rim teammates. Anyone better than Kyrie and Luka?
Just watching out for my guy Derek Lively tonight. Let's go.
He's above the rim. You know what those two below the rim guys need?
Yeah.
Somebody to catch lobs. They're like, we don't want to dunk. You do it. Wham. And he'll have 8 points on 8 lobs or on 4 lobs and just call it a day. He hasn't missed a shot since the second round, right? I believe he made it through the entire Western Conference Finals without missing a shot.
Did not miss a shot.
So we're going on 3 or 4 weeks since Derek Lively missed a shot. Kind of crazy to think about for, it's not the offseason. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
The Carolina Hurricanes still don't have a GM.
Nope.
Do you think we get one by tomorrow?
No.
Should we do this? This is ready for this reference, everybody? Buckle up. There's an episode of Friends.
Go on.
Where I don't even remember who. One of them is pregnant, and they start gambling on when the baby's going to come, and the expectant mother is getting in on the gambling.
Yeah.
And is doing oh, yeah, I definitely think it's going to happen this week. Turns to everybody else, no way. I'll take the over. I feel like this might be available on one of the legal sports gambling apps. I think should we start betting on when they're going to name their GM? I'll put over under Tuesday.
Tuesday? So over be after Tuesday?
We'll put Actually, we'll go the show on Monday.
Ooh, I might be after.
Would you take the under on Tuesday, but the over on Monday at 3?
It's possible.
So you're saying they're going to name it Monday at 5. You are very specific. There's a 12-hour window there that you're guessing.
My guess is scouting combine ends Saturday. I figure we might get an announcement. Maybe it might be Monday. Monday
That's
afternoon.
So long.
I know, it's what it is.
By
the way,
2.5 weeks?
It was when Rachel was pregnant on Friends that you're referring to. My girlfriend texted me, it was when Rachel was pregnant.
That tracks.
She knows.
I would have guessed Rachel if I had to. I don't know if that's good or bad of me to know all that, but
but you do.
I do. And you can't
but
take
nonetheless,
it out of your brain.
The Canes still need a general manager. That's the thing. We still need a GM.
The question is, right now, are the Canes and Don Waddell actually done, or are they just on a break?
Oh, they're done. They're done.
Friends fans right now get that.
Yeah. We were on a break.
Yeah, on a break. Yes, they don't have a GM. You just said it. The combine is going on right now.
Well, here's the thing.
They don't have a GM.
Like with the scouting combine, like they've done their research. They've had their scouts and stuff doing all that kind of stuff.
I do not care about the actual combine.
I do not, but it's where other GMs and where agents are right now. And this is when tons of deals get done.
The combine
is
I'm into references right now. I'm into analogies. The combine is the river in the middle of the oasis, the little water pond in the middle of the Serengeti.
Okay.
It's the only place in the entire Serengeti where you see the zebras drinking, the alligators are there, the elephants come through, the cheetahs are in the distance. You got the little meerkats trying to get some. Like the entire league gets together for the combine. The combine is the oasis. If there's no water there, if there's no combine, if there's no reason for everybody to get together, they all go. The meerkat goes in a hole. The giraffes are over by the high trees that they're eating. The lions are wherever they want to be taking a nap. Like everybody separates. The combine is when everyone is together, and the Canes are sitting there going, well, who goes and drinks first? Like they don't know. They don't have the leader. They don't have the alpha. They don't have the who's going to defend us at the combine, right? They always got the one lion that leads the pride. Who is that for the Canes? And before you answer, yes, it's probably Tom Dundon, but that's no one talks to the owner the way they talk to another executive. Agents are more honest with owners or with executives because they get it. Owners, it's like the teacher is in town. What's that? Number 2? Let's get to number 1. Dan Hurley, UConn, 2-time defending national champion men's basketball coach, is the target of the Lakers. We've talked about this from a bunch of different angles. What we haven't talked about it is the ripple effect, or the trickle down, as sometimes it's called. For example, coach at a top program, Blue Blood, leaves. They take a coach from a top 25 program. That coach gets replaced by somebody from the top group of 5. That coach gets replaced by a top assistant at a Power 5. And it all cycles through, right? So
we saw this when Saban retired.
Great example. All of a sudden, the DeBoer pops over and he gets replaced, and 4 jobs change when it seemed like the coaching carousel was kind of slowing down at that point in time. If UConn has to hire a coach, I'm baffled by who they could poach. Because they're obvious, like, the last 25 years, they have, 5 national championships?
Yeah, since 1999.
Something crazy like that. So you'd think that alone right there, like, oh, they could take anybody. But then I'm like, but if you're looking at the future of college sports, are you really going to hitch your wagon to a school that doesn't have premier football, that isn't in a Power 4 conference, that isn't getting all those payouts? I don't know if I'm doing that. If you told me UConn could name like anyone other than Duke, North Carolina, Kansas head coach as their next coach, I would go, yeah, that's possible. If you told me they had a hard time filling the job because they couldn't get any big name to commit, I would go, wow, that's crazy. But they don't have a football program. They have a football program, but they don't have a Power 4 conference football alignment. I kind of get it. Like it is an interesting spot. Seth Greenberg, former Virginia Tech coach and now an ESPN analyst, talked about this and the changing landscape of college sports that could lead to Hurley leaving.
More importantly, the culture of college basketball has changed. We saw Jim Harbaugh, leave and after a national championship and go to the Chargers. The culture of college basketball, the economics of college basketball, and everything around it obviously makes this Laker opportunity unique. In terms of, I think it's a difficult decision. I know Dan Hurley really well. I spent a ton of time with him. I watch him practice all the time. We're very close. He loves UConn. He loves his players. He loves what he's been able to establish and build. But the Lakers are unique, and the opportunity to coach in the NBA for the Lakers with those resources is unique. So if I was a general manager, if I was an athletic director, he'd be the first guy I called.
First of all, Dan Hurley does one thing very well, and it's shown in all of these clips we're playing and all of the clips I've listened to over the last 8 hours. He makes everyone think they're close. Every single person that's talking about Dan Hurley in the media is like, I actually know Dan very, very well. We hang out a lot. We're buds. I know Dan. I'm like, how does everybody know this guy that well? He must be one of those people, and we all know him, right? You talk to him for 10 minutes, you walk away going like, I'm going to invite him to a golf trip this weekend.
Pretty sure we're best friends.
Yeah, like that. Do you think he'd be in my wedding? Like, you just talked to him for 10 minutes. Like, yeah, but we clicked.
He might say yes.
We clicked. He probably would. He'd be there and be like, now, this wedding, is it anywhere where there's a good recruit nearby? I'm going to double up this trip. Expense it. The ripple effect, here's where I'm asking the question. Could it hit someone like Kevin Keats, who just went on a Final Four run and has a little bit of glow? If not UConn, the school that UConn poaches from. Could it hit an assistant coach from one of the programs here in the Triangle? 2 or 3 stops down the trickle-down line.
Possibly.
And at this point in the offseason, actually, it's kind of dirty if Dan Hurley does it, because at this point in the offseason, it's tough for UConn to recover.
Oh,
there's
massively.
All the carousel spun. And then last thing I'll say is, and I will have to talk about this more as it develops, if Dan Hurley takes another job, if he leaves UConn, everyone on that UConn roster has 30 days to enter the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime your coach leaves, which means all those players would be available and no other players would be, because the ones that aren't in the portal already can't enter into the portal unless their coach leaves. So then if you're UNC and you're like, we really missed out on the big men that we wanted, all of a sudden you have a national championship contender that's basically all, everything must go sale. That would very much interest me. Very much interest me. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis Cox has something for you.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. Want to win a trip to the 84th Annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally and a custom Harley-Davidson performance bagger? Well, the Law Tigers are giving away the ultimate trip of a lifetime. Here's the thing. You only got a couple days left to enter, so do it now. Go to stylininSturgis.com. Again, stylininSturgis.com to enter. Prizes include a VIP stay at Glencoe Camping Resort. Custom Harley-Davidson built by Lane Splitter Garage. That's right, a custom Harley-Davidson. I can't win a custom Harley, but you can if you just go to stylininSturgis.com to enter today. And a bunch of other prizes going along with that as well, but you have to enter now, stylininSturgis.com to enter. If you're ever injured in a motorcycle accident, Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. The insurance company, they just want to pay you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They understand what your bike and your gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and they don't get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need some numbers game contestants. Today we are giving away Dave Matthews Band tickets. Dave Matthews Band at Coastal Credit Union Music Park next Friday, June 14th. It's pretty soon. Dave Matthews Band tickets go to the winner of the numbers game. To win the numbers game, you have to play the numbers game. To play the numbers game, you have to call in 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. We need 2 contestants. Call in now because the numbers game is next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
I think it's the most elite hot dog you can get is a Chicago dog. It's delicious. Do not knock it until you've tried it.
I understand it's a delicacy. It's unique to Chicago, but I'm over that. I don't necessarily need to have that. I think it's too much on a hot dog. A hot dog, maybe you want to put some sauteed onions, maybe a little bit of relish, but I think that's about all that belongs on the hot dog.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
The NBA Finals are here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to win alongside the champions because right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets with a winning $5 wager. Adam Gold here from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. $200 in bonus bets to use on who's going to be the Finals MVP. Not Jason Tatum. Go Jaylen Brown at +600 or Kyrie Irving at +2,000. Are you kidding me? FanDuel.com, promo code Adam Gold. FanDuel.com/Adam Gold. Get started and take a shot at $200 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 wager, and the Mavericks are +184 in the series. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. Our fellowship-trained orthopedists do it all. General, sports, pediatric, joint replacement, fractures, spine, prevention, advanced diagnostics, progressive treatments, minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, and more. Visit wakemed.org/wakeortho and get back your life.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Is your heating and air system ready for hot weather? Call Newcomb & Company today to schedule a routine maintenance and ensure your system is operating at peak performance. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs for HVAC and plumbing work. Newcomb & Company has served the area as a Carrier Factory authorized dealer for more than 3 generations. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company and Carrier. Your comfort is our business.
Hey y'all, happy summer from Oak City Customs. We have a lot of cool things happening, including new offerings on custom sun sails, pergolas, outdoor tables and furnishings, raised garden beds, and so much more. All fully customizable and available in any size. We also are now hosting official shop tours for you to experience this unique fabrication process in person. Come visit us or check us out further at oakcitycustoms.com. We look forward to meeting you.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. Before we do, though, just earlier today, I ranted just for a second about ESPN and breaking news and how they have to read the room and know what breaking news is. Did you get a breaking news to your phone from the app, Dennis? No? Breaking news came to my phone. It says United States beats international powerhouse Pakistan at men's T20 World Cup in one of the biggest upsets in cricket history.
Okay. Let's go.
USA.
Let's go.
USA.
We won, baby. Let's
USA.
go.
I
Didn't know they were playing.
I had no clue that cricket was even a thing that we participated in.
Yeah, and we're good at it.
Apparently. Actually, that probably not, since we're such an upset.
Well, people don't know yet.
Either way, with that as the inspiration, we're going to David in Lewisburg and Matt in Raleigh with the numbers game. Dave Matthews tickets on the line. We have to ask a question to see what who goes first. David, what is the biggest upset in history?
Mine's going to be a little odd. This was in the early 2010s. I think it was like 2013. The Broncos beat the Cowboys. I think it was 51-49, and I was in the military living in Texas at the time.
All right, and it's just a game that was an upset to you. I like the specificity. Matt and Raleigh, what's the biggest upset of all time?
No, that's tough. For me, it would have to be the 2016 buzzer beater by Villanova, and which broke my heart. But we redeemed ourselves the next year.
All right.
Okay.
The Chris Jenkins shot is the one you're talking about. I have to be honest.
Yeah, that was. I called out of work for 2 days. I couldn't even go to work. It was tough.
All right, Matt and Raleigh, you're going to get to go first because you delivered that well. I was expecting like Miracle on Ice, Buster Douglas over Tyson, some of the real Cinderellas, but two good answers.
By the way, or Chaminade over Virginia.
Yep.
By the way, is it funny that we're giving away Dave Matthews tickets and we have David and Matthew on the line competing today? Just noticed that.
I didn't notice that. Yeah, small world. Matt gets to go first, but David, sit on the line. You'll have your chance to win the tickets as well. Matt, pick out of these categories: NFL Sam's Club, all people with Sam or Samuel in their name; NFL in the initials, all players whose first names are initials; NBA current players only, or NHL Canes and Whalers only.
I guess NHL Canes and Whalers.
All right, these are all Canes and Whalers. I will give you the team and the player. I will give you the team, even though we know the team in this category, just to keep it even with the other categories. I give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. Any last-second questions?
Really hoping to win. It's my fiance's birthday next week, so I really want these tickets.
All right, well, good luck to you. And your time will start when you hear the horn. Martin Necas, Carolina Hurricanes.
Martin Necas, 88.
Correct. Eric Cole, Carolina Hurricanes.
Eric Cole, 26.
Correct. Francisek Caberlet, Carolina Hurricanes.
Frank Caberlet, 77.
Incorrect. Nicholas Wallen, Carolina Hurricanes.
Nicholas Wallen, pass.
Stefan Yelly, Carolina Hurricanes.
11.
Incorrect. I do like you treat it like the Scripps National Spelling Bee, where you have to say it, spell it, say it. It's like I say Eric Cole, Carolina Hurricanes. You're like Eric Cole, 26. Eric Cole. You got 2.
It helps me. Trust me. I mean, whatever works.
I know. I'm not hating on it at all. Everybody's got their rhythm to it. You got Necas. You got Cole, 88 and 26. Caberlet were number 5 with the Canes.
Okay.
Wallen were number 7. And Yell were number 18. Those were the.
I don't remember the last one, but okay.
It's all right. You got 2 though. That's a solid showing. We'll see if it holds up on the challenger here. But sit on the line. We'll see. David in Lewisburg, you there?
Yeah.
All right, you're there. The categories remaining for you are NFL Sam's Club, all Sams or Samuels. NFL in the initials, all first name initials, or NBA current players only.
NFL Sam's Club.
All right, these are all players with Sam or Samuel in their name. I will give you the player and the team. Give me their jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You have 1 pass. You need to get 3 to win. Any last-second questions?
No questions.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Sam Laporta, Detroit Lions.
82.
Incorrect. Sam Darnold, New York Jets.
14.
Correct. Sam Mills, Carolina Panthers.
Pass.
Deebo Samuel, San Francisco 49ers.
19.
Correct. Sam Laporta, Detroit Lions.
81.
Incorrect. Sam Mills, Carolina Panthers.
52.
Incorrect. Sam Laporta, Detroit Lions.
83.
Incorrect. Sam Mills, Carolina Panthers.
59.
Incorrect. Sam Laporta, Detroit Lions.
87.
So close.
Just short of, just missed the buzzer.
Sam Laporta,
Beat
87.
by the buzzer.
You didn't get it under the wire.
Oof.
Sam Mills with the Panthers, 51. You were in the right neighborhoods for both. You got Sam Darnold quickly with 14. You got Deebo Samuel quickly with 19. Unfortunately, a tie goes to whoever goes first in our tiebreaker. So you are not the winner, but hopefully you had a fun time playing.
I enjoyed it. Hopefully he enjoys that for his, I believe he said his fiance. So I hope they have fun.
And a little bit of sportsmanship there, David. You're a winner in my book, even though there's no emotional winners and we don't give trophies to everybody. So you lost. But we appreciate you for playing. Hopefully you had a good time. Call back in anytime. Matt and Raleigh, you are the winner. You get to take the fiance to Dave Matthews.
She's actually sitting right next to me, so she was listening the whole time.
Well, turn to her and say, do you want to go to a concert? Because you have Dave Matthews tickets for next Friday, June 14th.
That's actually how we met 3 years ago, was through a Dave Matthews Facebook group, and we got engaged a year ago at a Dave show in Wilmington, so this is perfect.
Look at that. We are happy to be a part of your Dave Matthews story.
Yes, thank you so much.
There you go. Go ahead and sit on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you to make sure you get those tickets. I couldn't help it. If you're that big of a Dave Matthews fan, you're going to get the donkey sounds. If you've heard Dave Matthews before, you kind of think that might be a little funny. If not, you're probably going, what the heck is he doing? That's fair as well. And even if you do know, you still might be saying, what the heck is he doing? That's the numbers game. We do it every single day around the same time. Tomorrow will be the last day to win the Dave Matthews tickets. Right now, I'm Tim Donnelly for Fox and Bailey Watch Shop at Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Bailey's Fine Jewelry in the Raleigh's Village District location. They have the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop. You walk in, you go all the way to the right. I just found out that they are becoming a retailer for Blancpain, which is one of the oldest, most historic European watch companies. It is. I mean, it's the 50 Fathoms, right? If you're in the watch world, you know what the 50 Fathoms is. It's almost. I say almost because I'm a Speedmaster guy, but it's almost the most iconic watch in kind of modern watchmaking. It is a diver's watch. It looks really cool. It has a unique look. You can recognize it from across the room, and it's a Blancpain, which is the brand that you can now find at the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry, Village District location in Raleigh, where they have a whole vibe. You can get a drink, you can hang out. They have the records playing, they have the vintage everything. It's a really cool place to hang out. I need to make it out there again, do some window shopping here, maybe spend a little money. It's all at the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop. located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. Make sure they know when you stop by to check it out that you heard about it right here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. We have a tiny bit of news coming out of Panthers off season, and we'll tell you what that news is coming up next.
Triangle High School Hockey League update.
Hi, I'm Steven Smalley. I'm the president and founder of the Triangle High School Hockey League. High School Hockey League, we specify in the spring. We basically just give a chance for high school players to play in front of their schools. Everyone loves it. I mean, we get a lot of fans every game. Everyone just loves playing in front of their school.
It's the final week of high school hockey, and several teams are in a must-win situation to advance into the playoffs. In the Pure Division, will Holly Springs be able to edge out RC for the last playoff spot? And in the Combined Division, could we see a 5-team tie for first place? Be sure to check out all the action by buying your tickets now. Remember, all games are just $2, so you can bring the family to as many games as you like. For schedule times and to purchase tickets, visit trianglehshl.leagueapps.com. That's trianglehshl.leagueapps.com.
Triangle High School Hockey League update brought to you by CK's Plumbing and Backflow, Wake County's first choice for residential and commercial plumbing services.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, "It's bow time." So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges on your tax debt daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you will owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is, getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima Tax have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-480-6932. That's 800-480-6932. 800-480-6932.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The summer is finally here, and it's time to take advantage of Zero Res's best deal of the summer. Basically, every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. So it's time to call My Cleaning Pros at Zero Res and get 3 rooms cleaned starting at just $109 and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. If you're like me, you probably think you run the vacuum a little bit, you might swipe something down with a wet cloth, and you're good to go. But that's not the case. Vacuuming is not sufficient to maintaining the cleanliness and lifespan of your carpet. Zero Res has the top ratings, all the glorious reviews. They're out there to help you, and they have a deal that will not last long. 3 rooms at just $109. That's where it starts. And take $100 off your air duct cleaning as well. Call 919-915-0000 or book online at ZeroResRaleigh.com to take advantage of these huge savings.
Pro Paint Days are back at Lowe's. Save $40 on select 5-gallon HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams paint, like Weather Shield, Showcase, or Ceiling Paint. Plus, save $10 on drywall PVA primer and get free same-day delivery to the job site when you order by 2 p.m. Lowe's knows paint. Lowe's knows pros. Offers valid through 6/14. Delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Glad to finally have you over. What do you think?
You could install a bay window to let in more natural light over there.
Huh?
Sorry.
Sorry, it's just that I saved hundreds on my Navy Federal Credit Union home equity loan. Now I see potential home improvement projects everywhere.
Learn more about how our home equity loans with no closing costs can help you get more from your home base at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender. Membership required. Loan subject to change.
Trane heating and cooling systems are engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I said we had a little bit of Panthers news going into the break. I think that's appropriate. Panthers are expected to sign Memphis Showboats wide receiver Dawood Davis, pending a physical, per sources for Ian Rappaport, NFL Network. Davis spent time with the Dolphins. He has spent time with the Dolphins and was recently named to the All-UFL team. Now, whether Dawood Davis does or does not make the Panthers, if he ever even sees it down for the Panthers, I find it unlikely. But you know what this is? This continues the offseason of leaving no stones unturned by the Carolina Panthers. Remember, not long ago, Bill Barnwell of ESPN wrote an article assigning superlatives for different teams' off seasons, and the Panthers won the superlative. I don't know if you win a superlative. They were assigned the superlative. They were given the superlative of team least likely to leave a stone unturned. They are checking everywhere for value. UFL, I'm sure there are some teams that are like, that's not real football. They should be focused. What's UFL, that level of competition? The Panthers are sitting there like, I don't know, look like you could catch. We didn't have many of those guys last year. Looked like he could get open with a route. We didn't have many of those guys last year. I think it's good. Like I said, I think that's what they should be doing this offseason. I think that's the best possible superlative for the Panthers to win, which is, other than like most likely to succeed or something like that. They should be 100% all in on finding value in the margins. I recently, I think N'Keal Harry is maybe on the Vikings now. He was a former first-round pick wide receiver of the Patriots. They're moving him to tight end.
He's a big dude.
I was like, that's the stuff the Panthers need to be doing. Bring in a guy who everyone thinks is a broken wide receiver and see if he might be a stud tight end. Like, look for value in areas that maybe others aren't utilizing, and the UFL could be one of those options. You know who else is having a big UFL season?
Who's that?
Ricky Person.
Yeah, former NC State guy.
Former NC State running back.
Heritage High School product right here in Wake County.
Led the UFL in rushing touchdowns and is now in the postseason and is looking to obviously keep that rolling. And as we just saw with Dawood Davis, maybe if you play well enough in the UFL and you have a big showing in the postseason, you could play your way into an NFL contract or at least an NFL opportunity to be brought into camp. So the UFL, I will be honest with you. I can't say that I've watched much of it.
Yeah, I can't say I've watched any of it.
There's a lot of other things in sports that I've been watching, but I always do. Like, I imagine what like my family would do if in the spring I'm like, got a football game to watch. They're like, no.
Like, no,
you take
don't.
up Thursdays, you take up Saturdays, you take up Sundays, you take up Mondays in the fall. Spring, no football. But the UFL does look like they're doing, at least in part, what they set out to do, which is have high enough quality football that the NFL believes you a little bit. It's an area for guys who want to cling to the dream to not have to give it up quite yet.
You never know what you can find.
Kurt Warner played in the Arena League, bagging groceries. Now he's a Hall of Famer. With some crazy takes on social media but he keeps it sports related, at least, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
The drive with Tim. Also UFL, not a UFL, but a former. What was the other one?
XFL?
No, the Houston Roughnecks.
USFL.
Right, was it USFL?
Yeah.
PJ Walker, who also obviously parlayed it into a opportunity with the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Just signed with the Seattle Seahawks today.
Well, good for him.
So there's another guy that kept the dream alive, and now it's looking like he's going to be like a 10-year NFL backup quarterback.
You could have worse jobs.
He's the guy that threw the deep touchdown to DJ Moore, which was the bright spot for the Panthers for, I don't know, like a 6-month period.
Yeah.
It was an unreal ball. Caught it, and then DJ Moore threw his helmet off and got penalized for it, and it almost – anyway, flags were thrown. It was bad.
Uncorked that thing.
But he threw that thing about 65 yards in the air on the money, and he's going to stick around in the NFL. Just signed with the Seahawks today. So those spring leagues turning into something a little bit. Do you remember Rod Smart?
Yeah.
He Hate Me?
He Hate Me.
From the original XFL?
Mm-hmm.
There's always a couple of those little, like, actually made it in the NFL stories.
Tommy Maddox was the XFL MVP and then became the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Chase on Twitter just hit me up. I'm guessing this has to do with the Ricky Person conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I hear Dallas needs a running back.
That they do.
What are you talking about? They have Zeke Elliott.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
They have Zeke. They have Rico Dowdle. And they have the Deuce is loose. Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah.
He's like 5'4". That's not an exaggeration. I think he is 5'4", by the way. I was not short-shaming. I think that is his height. Anyway, UFL also going on. Apparently the playoffs are getting started, which I learned from NC State tweeting about Ricky Person. So good luck to all local products in that league.
Something local, kind of off the little non sequitur here to baseball real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Super Regional start this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets already sold out for the Super Regional at Chapel Hill for Carolina. Tickets already sold out. Now there will be limited number of standing room only tickets that will be made available for purchase at Boschmer Stadium in the box office for each respective game. Otherwise, you got to go to their secondary market, which I think is SeatGeek because that's their partner over there. It's going to cost you about $260 to get into a game, minimum. If you go through second,
I mean, it's
saying
it's going to be a cool atmosphere. I mean, it's there are certain things that you buy tickets for because you want to be there in person, and Super Regionals are one of them. And you figure out how. Super Regionals are cool. The whole College World Series is cool. It's history. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I want to tell you about my partners with Window Nation. Window Nation. Think about it, right? Think about everything your windows do for you. They separate you from the elements, right? When you're in your house and you're like, oh, look at that big storm outside. The reason why you're comfortable and you don't have to go curl up into a little ball and try to stay dry is because you have these windows. Now imagine if they're cracked, if they're leaky, if they won't stay open, if they won't stay closed, if they have bad materials that are deteriorating, whatever it is. That you're not as protected from the elements, and you're letting all the energy from your house, the heating, the cooling, go right on out into those elements as well. Are you a big storm watcher? I like watching storms. I love a good thunderstorm that comes in from the distance and you can watch it. Window Nation allows that to happen because they put in high quality windows by proven, trusted, experienced installers, and they want to do it at a deal for you. Window Nation is extending their semi-annual sale, 50% off all window styles plus 0% interest for 5 years, and an additional bonus if you schedule a free, no obligation consultation appointment this week. So go ahead and give them a call, 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION to hear from Window Nation and set up that free no-obligation consultation and get the bonus discount on some awesome new windows to help you go ahead and watch those storms like I enjoy as well. That's going to do it for us here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly. Canes GM talk. They still don't have one. We talked about it earlier today. They still don't have it, so it applies. We'll hit that conversation to start Overdrive. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
It's Men's Health Month, and Wake Med wants to remind you to exercise. Be physically active for at least 3 hours per week. That's about 30 minutes of exercise per day. And exercise doesn't have to be boring. Walking the dog, playing basketball, riding your bike, or even an impromptu dance party count as physical activity. Oh, and don't forget to include stretching and strength training. Get up, get moving, and while you're at it, schedule a WakeMed primary care appointment at wakemed.org to get started on your journey to a happier and healthier version of you.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, Don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
This Father's Day, give Dad the gift that keeps on giving with the Butcher's Market Steak of the Month Club. Dad will enjoy a fresh, hand-cut steak every month for 6 months, like a prime New York strip steak, a Brazilian picanha, a petite sirloin roast, and a thick-cut T-bone steak, just to name a few. Plus great bonus items like burgundy wine marinated mushrooms and so much more. The Steak of the Month Club is exciting, easy, and just perfect for Dad. Sign up today at any of the Butcher's Market's 6 Triangle locations or at thebutchersmarkets.com. Now open at Lake Boone Trail.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919